presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's Dell City football time on the Oklahoma Sports Network. We are live from Pryor, Oklahoma, a pretty darn good drive, about 2.5 hours past, just a little past Tulsa, and it is a beautiful brand new football stadium here. It's senior night for Pryor. It's week 10, and my gosh, this season has absolutely flown by. Seems like it always does. It's been another exciting season for Dell City. 6-0 through district, looking to go to 7-0 in district tonight. It'll be another district championship game rematch from last season, where it took place at Robert Kalsu Stadium at the end of the year, where Dell City and Pryor played. The only difference is last season Pryor was a much younger team and Dell City was the experienced team. This season the roles are kind of reversed. Dell City a little bit more youth, and this Pryor team a lot of seniors, and Pryor undefeated, really feeling good about themselves. If anybody is going to break the record of Dell City winning 21 straight district games, back-to-back district championships, this Pryor Tigers team might be the team to do it, and we are sure pleased that you have joined us tonight. I know that a lot of people can't make the game, couldn't get off work on time to make this long drive. I'm Colton Fleetwood. I've got Gordy Jones alongside, back in the booth with me. I've got Cedric Brosi on the camera, and I've got Jacoby Brosi on producer. And Gordy, listen, I know this is your first time broadcasting a district championship game, and talk about what you know about these two teams.
Well, I know one thing. We're going to have us a good game today, and I'm really excited about it, Colt. I think the audience is excited about it. I think, us as a crew, we've been talking about it all week. And one thing, we do know about the Dell City Eagles is that they are a high-powered offense, sitting at 7-1 right now. These guys have battled their way, to a winning record and are looking, like I said, to end this game and get right into the playoffs along with that same type of momentum. But we have a treat today. We get to witness the Pryor Tigers, who have a high-powered offense led by the quarterback, Braden Ward, a senior left-handed quarterback that is just really fierce, behind the center and in the pocket. He has so many weapons, including one of his brothers, Brock Ward, but along with Ballou, along with Gavin Roberts, Carson Hughes coming out of the backfield. This is a high-powered offense that has a lot of similarities to the Dell City Eagles offense. So we're going to see an air attack from both teams, from offense and defense. These guys are both stout on both sides of the ball. They have a lot of seniors, like you said before, that go both ways. But these guys are high-powered and very competitive. They've been playing a lot of competition, and they've been blowing a lot of these teams out of the water. But like I said before, they play a spread-style offense. They like to get the ball in the air. But like I said, they like to bring Carson Hughes out of the backfield, and he's a hard-nosed runner, just like our hard-nosed runner, Rickland Holmes, on the other side of the ball. But like I said, these guys with Caleb Blackwolf, with Josiah Chester, they have so many weapons that, like I said before, they'll be competing back and forth, and I imagine that we might have a high-scoring affair on our hands, but it's up to both defenses to see if they can stop this air attack. So like you said, Colt, this team, on defense, the Pryor Tigers, they'll run a 3-3-5 base defense. These guys like to run a nose guard, and in that nose guard is really, becoming a problem. And like I said before, these guys will, bring everything that they can to try to see if they can throw the Dell City Eagles off just a little bit.
Yeah, you talked about the nose guard for Pryor. Mason McAlvin is his name. He's a junior. He is one of their more youthful players. But this guy's 6'5".
Yes.
325 pounds. So he's a load. Now, for Dell City on the flip side, they've got a freshman, a lot of youth, has been stepping up in a nose guard defensive tackle position as Damani Godwin. He could be a key tonight to try to slow the run game down. But I think the biggest concern for Dell City tonight is going to be how will their secondary hold up, because you talked about all those receivers that Pryor has, and they might have 6 or 7 guys that have a reception by the end of the night. That's how much they like to distribute the football. So that will be something for Dell City to watch for tonight. I want to let you know we're on the countdown to kickoff, which is brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Dell City. For all your nutrition needs in one shake or tea, come to Precision Nutrition at 4603 Southeast 29th Street in Dell City. You can order over the phone by calling 405-672-0999. I actually went by there today, Gordy, and had a shake and tea, and I went ahead and got the cookies and cream. It's a shake that actually tastes pretty close to a real cookies and cream shake, and it's healthy. And then I got a tea that gave me energy, and in the mornings, man, especially on a Friday, it takes a little bit of extra caffeine or something to get me going. That tea really did the trick, and I didn't have to drink more than 1 cup of it, unlike coffee where I might have to drink 2 or 3. So go check out Precision Nutrition of Dell City. They are our Countdown to Kickoff sponsor. They've been with us all season long, and we have enjoyed having them. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the game. We're going to go over keys to the game. We'll have some starting lineups for you, and then we'll also have the coin toss shortly after that. So stay with us. It's district championship night from Pryor as your Eagles will look to take their 3rd straight district championship on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success, and finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call. This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you!
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. We have about 20 minutes still until kickoff tonight for this district championship game. And, boy, the Pryor Tigers, they just came running out a little bit early. We were wondering why. It's senior night, and they did their senior night festivity, so they're out there warming up now. And, man, it gave us chills because they had the lights flickering in blue and their helmets were shining, and it looked really neat. They've got a huge home crowd here. This is going to be a true home field advantage for this Tigers team. It's the whole town of Pryor pretty much that's here. It's incredible. And it's a long trip for Dell City, so it is going to be home field advantage for sure for Pryor, much like it was last season when Dell City played Pryor and Dell City. It's just such a long drive. It's hard for people to get off work on time. So, again, we're on the countdown to kickoff, brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Dell City. I want to go ahead and get to some of our starting players tonight, and that is brought to you by our good friend over at DC Transmission. And Dell City is, kind of a tight-knit group, right? So anytime we can go for a Dell City graduate like Tom Fisher, who's been serving the community for 48 years, we are always excited to be able to tell you about them. DC Transmissions is a trustworthy company. If your car breaks down, hope it doesn't, but if it does, it happens to everybody, you need a place you can take it. DC Transmissions is that place. You can go check them out. They're located at 4737 Southeast 29th Street. You can also give them a call at 405-677-7454. So some of those starting lineups, Gordy, you talked about a lot of them, but I want to mention for Dell City. So at running back, we've been seeing two different guys. We've been seeing Rickland Holmes. We've been seeing Caleb Blackwolf. At quarterback, we've also been seeing two guys,
right?
Which, that's not ideal necessarily, but for Dell City, it's worked out. We've had Sincere Overton. We've also had Davion Simmons. Both these guys have played really well together, and so I would imagine you probably see both of them again tonight unless something changes.
Yes.
That would be my guess. At receiver, Josiah Chester, one of the best receivers in the state. He has been unguardable this season. He'll be starting at receiver. You'll also have Walter Franklin, who might be the key in this game tonight, because if Josiah Chester does get double covered or even triple covered, Walter Franklin's going to have to find himself open for the quarterback. Dell City defensively, Gordy, do you want to go over some of those guys?
Yeah, like I said, we'll talk about, the two brothers, right on the middle. We got Davion Simmons and we got Damari Simmons, on the defensive line. Of course, like you talked about earlier, we do have Damani Godwin, a freshman who is definitely making his way and making a name for himself, on the defensive line. We get to the linebackers. We can't forget about Gunter. We can't forget about the great Rickland Holmes as well. These guys have just been doing a lot of damage. And really, like I said, bringing a really good rush and throwing the rush off, and that's what I love about watching, Davion Oko, Rickland Holmes. Then we got Dracon Wright, as far as the other linebacker, on the outside end. These guys bring a lot of pressure to the defense, as far as they throwing these offenses off. They've created so much havoc in the middle, especially Mr. Holmes, that it's really been really difficult for a lot of these teams to get these runs off. But then you go to the secondary. We got Caleb Blackwolf. We have Josiah Chester as well. And, of course, we have the great, Detective Holmes, who's been doing just such a great job, at the corner positions. Like I said before, Dell City, they play on both sides of the ball. So these athletes that they use, they have to utilize them a lot on the offensive end. But on the defensive end, these guys have done a great job, especially week to week, being able to shut a lot of the passing game down. But like I said before, Rickland Holmes, and the linebacker core, as far, especially the brothers on the defensive line, have been really able to stop the run and done a really good job throughout the season, causing a lot of damage and keeping the score really low.
Very good. That was our starting players tonight that we'll see, brought to you by DC Transmission. Our keys to the game tonight, Gordy, I'm excited about these. This is probably the closest matchup Dell City will have all season long. So keys to the game brought to you by our good friends over at Keyline Mag. The stars of tonight's matchup aren't just winning on the field, they're hitting the headlines too. Keyline Mag will be featuring these amazing athletes, such as our player of the game last week, Nicholas Holmes. So go check it out. It's www.keylinemagonline.com, and you can subscribe for updates. Gordy, what are our keys to the game tonight?
All right, we'll talk about the first key of the game, Colton. This is the one I kind of been thinking about all week because I've been watching this young man a lot, and his name is Braden Ward. He's a left-handed threat quarterback, and he has, put a lot of clout under his belt, especially this year. He's been airing it out. He has his favorite receivers, like number 17, Baloo. But this is a guy that you're really going to have to watch out for. And when we have Caleb Blackwolf and, on the rest of the secondary in Dell City, this is a guy that they're really going to have to watch a lot. This guy, he drops back. He makes his great reads. The only thing about it is sometimes he kind of tends to go along with his first read. So when you key on this guy a lot, you might be able to kind of pick off, a little bit of interceptions from him. But this is one guy that you're really going to have to watch out for. So that first key to the game is keep an eye on Braden Ward because he is dangerous. But the second key to the game is we have to be doing the same thing that Dell City came out last week doing. They had so much consistency that they had finally developed on the offensive line, and that's what they're really going to have to do today. They're going to have to be consistent. They're going to have to continue to be able to use these guys to push these guys on the defensive line back, because they're coming with a nose guard that is not playing around, and they actually have good defensive ends, and they have some edge rushers as well that are really going to come off the end, and they're going to really have to be aware and we're ready to protect that quarterback, because, you know, you got Davion Simmons in the backfield. He has a really good arm. You got Sincere Overton as well. This guy is quick as well, but this defense coming from the Pryor Tigers, they are not playing around, and they are going to get after as much as possible. So that second point is to basically be ready and stay consistent on that offensive line and do what they did last week. The last point, of course, is just to stay consistent. This is a big game. This is a huge game for Dell City, so you can't make any mistakes. And we're talking about penalties. We're talking about being ready for any of these play calls. These guys have to be ready and have to be prepared for a game that is going to be unlike any game that they've had this year. So we have to be consistent. We have to know that there's not any slip-ups. We can't turn the ball over, and you can't, load the field with a lot of flags. You're really going to have to do everything that you can to make this game complete and completely manageable. So that will be your Gordy Jones 3 keys to the game. Back to you, Colt.
All right, Gordy, thank you, sir. That was great. And we've got 14 minutes till kickoff. Both these teams are now in the locker rooms. Pryor came out, did a little bit of warming up. They're done now. So we'll talk more about it here. So, Gordy, listen, this is, again, Dell City has won back-to-back district championship games coming into this. I want to ask you as a former player, you've won multiple district championships as a player.
Yes, sir.
Is there any added pressure, or does it almost give you more confidence coming into a game like this where you're like, hey, we've been here before? How do you normally feel about that?
The pressure is almost the same. I think it's like you go into every game with the same mindset that it's almost like week one. One thing I kind of love about watching other sports teams, especially like we talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have this zero-win mentality. When you're going into a big game like this, you can't believe what we did last week is going to work this week. You can't believe, okay, we won a championship last year. We're guaranteed to win this week. There's nothing that's guaranteed, especially in sports. That's really what I love about football in general. Each week, and like they say, on any given day, on any given Sunday, Saturday, or Friday night, anybody can get beat. So when you're coming into a game like this, you have to come into it with this professional mindset like, I'm the one who is the underdog. I'm the one who's going out there that has to prove something and prove to myself and prove to the rest of this city that we are as good as we thought we were. And like I said before, you come into a game like this with all attitudes out the window. You have to be a soldier. You have to have that soldier-like mentality. Like I said, nobody cares how good you were last week. This is the week that you have to prove yourself.
I agree with that. I mean, I think there has to be like this level of confidence too. Definitely. Because I think that for Dell City, I'm talking one of the district wins that I'm talking about, but they've won 22 or 21 in a row, trying to make it 22.
Yes.
One of those was a game against Durant in 2022, where it was the last game of the season. They won. They lost two district games that season, both of them in overtime, to Coweta and one against McAllister. That was those were the only two losses, I think, of the season. Dell City had a great year outside of that. But for this Dell City team now, every week, Coach Jones talked about it, every game is a playoff game.
Yes.
And it's been that way now since the Tahlequah game, where he talked about they had some of the competition issues, Tulsa Memorial, Tulsa Rogers, Tulsa Hale, where they just didn't amount to what Dell City was. So we knew Dell City was going to win those games going in. It was just a matter of how much.
Right.
These last 3 games, it's been a little bit more competition. And I think last week was the first time we really saw Dell City look like a playoff championship contending team. They looked really polished.
Right.
The offensive line got it going. They were almost dominant throughout the game. Quarterback play was great, whether it was Davion or in the first half or in the second half. It was sincere. They ran the ball at will. Josiah Chester got involved, and obviously Walter Franklin got involved. So it was really well polished. I think if we see more of that tonight, Dell City's got to be feeling really good about themselves.
Exactly.
But I want to talk more about Pryor, too. I know we've talked about them a lot, almost to a point of like we're talking like they're the like maybe they're Bixby or something.
Right, but they're a good team.
But they're a really good team.
Yes.
And I want people at home to understand that, because sometimes with Dell City, we get carried away and thinking that Dell City's just going to dominate everybody they play, because we've gotten used to that these last 2 seasons. And I remember 2 years ago in the playoffs, Dell City played Guthrie. We've been talking about that up here tonight. Everyone in the state was talking about how good Guthrie was because they had played Carl Albert so tough. That's maybe the best Carl Albert team of all time 2 years ago.
Definitely.
And that Guthrie team played them so close. Well, then Dell City and Guthrie matched up in the playoffs, and Dell City completely blew them out of the water.
Exactly.
Don't expect that to happen tonight, but also I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
Exactly.
Because nothing surprises me with this Dell City team and how athletic they are. But this is a Pryor team that is more than capable of winning, and if Dell City doesn't play well, they could win by a lot. So Dell City has to play their best game tonight.
You're right, Colt. I mean, we talked about earlier confidence. That's the main thing. You come into a game, you have the Pryor Tigers, you have the Dell City Eagles. Both of these teams are so loaded with so many phenomenal players that, confidence is just dripping, from each one of these guys. But when you come into a game like this, like you said before, it's not about just always being confident in yourself. It's about being confident in the next man to you, about having that trust and that each man is going to do their job and execute the way that they need to, which will lead to a win, especially in games like this. Like you say, you already know what you're getting into. You know what you have to do as far as you've done this the last few weeks. You have to be consistent. But like you said, going into a game like this, they automatically know what to expect.
Well, the national anthem is being played now, Gordy, so what we'll do is we'll take another break. When we come back, we should have a coin toss for you. You are watching the district championship between the Dell City Eagles and the Pryor Tigers on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
this is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success...
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. The captains have started to make their way out to the field for the coin toss. Gordy's going to watch the coin toss to give us the result while I tell you about Buck's Flight Academy, led by Dell City graduate Kenny Lockhart for affordable flight training from private pilot through multi-engine rating. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram and book a discovery flight today at 405-538-1400. That is one of the coolest sponsors we have. It's Buck's Flight Academy, and we appreciate Kenny Lockhart for his sponsorship. Gordy, what's going on in the coin toss? Anything yet?
It looks like Dell City has won the toss. And they have deferred to the Pryor Tigers. Pryor Tigers choose to receive.
I believe this stadium runs north and south. So Dell City will be receiving out of the south end zone. We're going to act like it's north and south, Gordy. I honestly have no idea if it's north and south or not. But
I think you're right, Colt.
We'll go with it. You at home probably don't know because I looked this new stadium up and it's not yet on Google Earth. So you'll just have to believe me when I say it's north and south. I believe it is, though. We are looking at my compass now, and it is indeed north and south. So Dell City will receive out of the south end zone. A little bit under 5 minutes to go till kickoff. Dell City starting to make their way to their tunnel. Pryor starting to do the same thing. A remarkable crowd here in Pryor, and I want to take this time to give a shout-out real quick to our friends here at Pryor. We've made friends here tonight. We don't get to say that about every place we go. We got here to Pryor, and there was a little bit of confusion with the broadcast booths, and their guys took it seriously to make it their job to make sure that we had a good setup. And as the Eagles take the field here, but just want to make sure and give them a shout-out and a thank you for helping us out tonight. Also fed us dinner, so really good hospitality here in Pryor. The Eagles take the field. They've got their white uniforms on tonight, white pants, white jerseys. They've got black and red numbers, black helmets with the DC logo in red on them. Pryor's uniforms, they're going with a blackout tonight. It's going to be black pants, black jerseys with blue numbers, and shiny blue helmets. And boy, there are fancy helmets.
Quite nice, quite nice. Almost as nice as this stadium, Colt. Shoot.
Yeah, this is a top-notch facility.
Yeah, we took an elevator up here, by the way.
We did. That is not a common trend that we get, and so it is. It's nice to have an elevator, and, again, everyone's been very kind here. If we sound like we're out of breath, it's because we just ate a huge Mexican fiesta, and that is the reason. So good night here tonight. It is enclosed, the broadcast booth is, so that's why you're hearing no crowd noise. Unfortunately, you won't hear any. We are totally closed in, and so we actually can't hardly hear anything out there either. Although I say that right as the crowd gets pumped up when their team comes out, we can hear it now.
We can hear it now.
So that tells you how loud it is because this is strong plexiglass, two sides of it, and we are still hearing right through it. So that tells you how loud this crowd's going to be tonight. We anticipated that would be the case. This is one of the biggest games Pryor has had to date. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know that they've won a district championship game since probably 2004 or 5. I think that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I heard. Now, Dell City's going to be kicking off from right to left on their screen here. Our kickoff sponsor tonight is going to be the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. The Dell City Chamber of Commerce, they are a trusted resource for education and engagement to help you improve your business, and we appreciate their sponsorship. They have been involved in a lot of kickoffs this season. As we are in Week 10, they have had a lot of kickoffs. Dell City scored a lot of points.
A lot of points.
The two return men tonight for Pryor, one of them is extremely dangerous. Number 17 is Tyler Blue. He is a sophomore. He is their most dangerous weapon. Their other guy back there to return is going to be Carson Hughes, it appears. He is the running back for the Tigers. Rickland Holmes, the senior, will kick it off. His last regular season game until the playoffs. We will call his name a lot, I would anticipate. District Championship Week 10, 2025. Here we go. Rickland Holmes kicks a line drive kick, end over end, returned at the 10. It's Ballou. Ballou to the 25, 30. He's loose. Puts on a move past Rickland Holmes to the 40, and Holmes is able to drag him down at the 45-yard line, but a good return to start this ball game for Tyler Ballou, the sophomore. And good field position for the Tigers to start this one. That's 2 weeks in a row, Gordy, that Dell City has given up a kick return.
Right.
Only last week there was a penalty that negated it. This week did not get it.
That was the first thing I thought about, Colt. I mean, great return by Ballou, first of all. And we already knew that this guy was a weapon. And so, like I said, this is one of these guys that you're really going to have to keep an eye on. But, like you say, same start off just as last week. That one, fortunately, got called back, and, they were able to reset. But this one is right on the 50-yard line, so the Dell City defense is really going to have to lock in.
Dell City's defense showing a four-man front. Coming in motion is a receiver from left to right. Up the middle, it's a keep by the quarterback. It's Braden Ward. He picks up a gain of 5 to midfield, right at it. Braden Ward, the senior quarterback. He is left-handed. Dell City has had a handful of left-handed quarterbacks this year, more than I think I've ever seen, Gordy.
Right, and I was thinking about that as I was watching the film. You really don't see a lot of teams that have left-handed quarterbacks, but this year we've been kind of blessed to see quite a few, actually 4.
Oh, a trick play up the middle. It's wide open and caught. 25-20, 15, 10, 5. Not going to be caught. It's a touchdown for Pryor. A great play call. It was a fake screen to the near side, then a fake quarterback draw, and they slipped the tight end right up the middle for a touchdown. What a start for the Tigers.
Absolute perfect timing. Actually, on our way up here, Cole and I, we were talking about the shallow safeties, and when you play shallows, a safety so shallow, you're really giving up that seam route, and they were just able to recognize that with the fake and just dump it right over the top with the fake run.
It was Carson Hughes on the reception. He snuck out of the backfield uncovered. Now they're going to go with a swinging gate here. They like to go for 2. Going to be a roll to the left. Man open. It's caught just shy of the end zone, so the 2-point conversion has failed. Dell City's looks like that was Quincy Hill in coverage. So 6-0 our score. We're going to keep it here. We won't take a break this quick into the ball game. Boy, I'll tell you what, Gordy, that is the worst start possible for Dell City.
Right. You catching the team off guard like that, you kind of catch them on their heels, and that's the thing. You have such an amount of receivers like we talked about before that are so talented. You have to keep an eye on everybody, but when you got a kind of a fake going like that, great fake and great read by Ward as well, but that's one of those plans, those plays that was planned out, and when you kind of get caught looking, Hughes was able to break from that backfield, nobody watching him at all.
Pryor is going to kick off from left to right now, leading 6-0 after that 50-yard touchdown pass from Braden Ward to Carson Hughes. The kicker for Pryor is Kyson Spencer. He's a senior, and he is maybe one of the more athletic kickers in the state of Oklahoma. When I say that, Rickland Holmes obviously is a kicker, but this guy is perhaps one of the best kickers in the state and also a great athlete.
Right.
There is very unlikely that Dell City will get a return here, as he usually kicks these out of the back of the end zone. As I say that, he didn't do it. It's going to be returnable. This is going to be Caleb Blackwolf who will catch it at the 5. Blackwolf gets upfield, and he is taken down short of the 20, and actually he ended up pushing his way forward to the 24. So nice return on the second effort. But Pryor does a good job staying in their lanes and covering that kick. That was a rare non-touchback for the kicker, Spencer.
He got a pretty good running start at that kick as well. Like I said, I think that wind kind of held that one up a little bit. But on that return team, Dell City's they're just going to really have to hold those blocks up. This is really, it's going to take to beat a team like this. You got to hold these blocks, and this is a quick team, so there's no getting around it.
Davion Simmons, the quarterback for Dell City. 1 receiver to each side. Rickland Holmes in the backfield. Simmons, a quick pass to the right side. It's caught by Josiah Chester at about the 29-yard line. He's brought down immediately from there. It'll be a pickup of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6.
Nice quick out route. Nice. Simmons able to get that ball out really quickly, and that's what you want to do. Be along to go with that first read and get that ball released quickly, not giving any time for the defense to get you in the backfield.
The Eagles show the same formation. Holmes in the backfield with Simmons. Coming in motion is Chester. This is going to be a handoff to Rickland Holmes. Holmes runs hard, gets the first down past the 40 to the 42-yard line as he backpedaled there. Good, tough run from Rickland Holmes.
No doubt.
You knew the senior would come in and try to set the tone early. Does just that on that run.
Just that. I mean, just a tough run by Rickland Holmes. And that's what it's going to take all night. It's going to be a grind. We can see it right now.
10:30 left to go in the quarter. 6-0, Pryor on top. Simmons claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it a give to Rickland. Rickland going to hit the edge to the outside. Stiff arms a man, stays on his feet. Past midfield, has the first down to the 46-yard line into Pryor territory. Another tough run from Rickland Holmes. A great job. There was nothing there at the line of scrimmage, and he busted it outside.
Nice carry for Rickland Holmes to give Dell City that first down.
Checking into the ball game is Caleb Blackwolf. Rickland will take a breather. Walter Franklin and Josiah Chester out wide. Lined up at tight end for Dell City is Jalen Andrews. Simmons back to pass, looking, throws it deep over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking at Walter Franklin, I believe, and Walter was not looking for the football. Had he been, it would have been a walk-in touchdown, Gordy.
Well, I just wide open, and I seen the little block that Andrews had on the end. You had an option on both of these guys, but just wide open on that end. I think there might have been a little bit of tip from the safety on that help, but like you say, had he had that space, he would have been wide open for the touchdown.
This is going to be a handoff to Black Wolf. 2 Tigers in the backfield to greet him. Might have been a slight face mask, no call. Going to be 3rd down and 10. I don't think that it was a grasp of the face mask, more just the old incidental face mask as they used to call it. It'll be 3rd and long for Dell City.
Just nothing doing on that run for Black Wolf. Is just really the offensive line for Dell City is really going to have to hold up. I think they're having a little bit of fits, with this 3-man set in the front.
Dell City going to run 2 receivers to each. They're going to run trips to the near side, 2 to the far side. Simmons in the empty gun. Black Wolf in motion from right to left. Back to pass is Simmons. Here comes the rush. Evades the first one. Tries to stay on his feet. Now he's going to be sacked. It's the nose guard, the big man. I say big man, he is big. 6'5", 300-pound Mason McAlvain on the sack. And Dell City going to have to punt this one away.
Just along with that, we knew both of those edge rushers would be coming off the end, but they took their time as far as just waited on that delay, able to get right up in that middle and create a little bit of havoc for the quarterback, able to come down with that sack.
Pryor has 2 pass rushers that they like to bring off the edge. They run that 3-5 base, and when they come in, they have a guy named Jerron Bailey, who is very good at rushing the quarterback. This punt going to be non-returnable. It's going to bounce inside the 10 and take itself out of bounds at the 8-yard line. A good punt from Rickman Holmes to reverse the field. And the Dell City defense, after giving up a quick 6, will need a stop. Do not want to go down 2 possessions. Dell City finding themselves in a little bit of unfamiliar territory other than that one game against Edmond Memorial to start the season. Trailing right now. I know they did trail in the second half against Collinsville, but they got off to a quick start. If you remember, it was 14-0 quick Dell City, and they kind of gave up and put their foot off the gas and found a way to win that ball game. But for the most part, these last 3 seasons, they've dominated pretty much everyone they've played other than Edmond Memorial.
The Tigers got their foot on the gas, and they are not letting up.
This is going to be a run play. They ran right into the blitz. It was overran. This is a big gain. Has the sideline 40. Hughes to the 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Can he be caught by Caden Johnson? Yes, he will. He'll be caught at the 1-yard line. Caden Johnson shows off his speed, but Carson Hughes does the damage.
Oh, my goodness. Carson Hughes almost completely untouched coming out of that backfield, but just such a great handoff. And you'll see on the replay, it's one of those things where they just kind of overran that. And like you said before, Hughes is a fast gentleman, and this guy is getting out, and he is not playing around. Thank goodness Caden Johnson was able to kind of track him down by using that speed, but almost to the house. And Dell City is really going to have to keep an eye on this guy, Hughes. He's a good one.
Dell City blitzed literally right into the run, and it was picked up by the right tackle, almost as if Pryor knew the play that Dell City was going to be running defensively. Ward out of the gun. He's going to keep it himself, go right up the middle, almost untouched into the end zone for a Pryor touchdown. A tremendous start for the Tigers tonight as they have gone quickly 2 for 2. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns, and it looks like they'll probably go for 2 yet again. Pryor likes to go for 2. One of the plays they ran against Claremore, they are creative in their play calling.
That's what I love. They actually, like you said before, they love running the swinging gate. They love to give you a lot of different looks on these conversions. That way you're really not exactly sure what they might run out or who they might try to get the ball to.
You got to watch for an option and a double pass. They're going to motion their offensive lineman out. Tricky formation. Dell City looks prepared for it. It's going to be a direct snap to the running back. He goes up the middle and he's in. 14-0 our score. Pryor on top. A complete disaster of a start for Dell City. Let's see if they can make up ground. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Back live with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Pryor up 14-0 quick. 7:43 left to go in the first quarter. The kick this time is drilled way out of the back of the end zone for a touchback, and that is the impressive leg of Kyson Spencer.
Really got a hold of that one. No doubt.
Yeah, that ball, as soon as he kicked it, you could tell it was a Happy Gilmore type
right.
drive. So Dell City this time, offensively, they did move the ball a little bit on their first drive.
Yeah.
It just stalled out whenever they couldn't get positive plays. For Dell City to be successful, Gordy, I feel like they're going to have to put themselves in more third and manageable situations.
Exactly.
And they're also going to have to find a way to get other receivers involved, because I don't think Josiah Chester is going to get a ton of open looks man-to-man.
Well, you can't be predictable, and that's the main thing that we talked about before. Yeah, you can do the same plays that worked, previously, but against a team like this, they've watched a lot of film on you already. So you're going to have to switch it up, and you're really going to have to try to stretch and use this offense, utilize these guys for what you know that they can do. They have the same amount of talent as the Pryor Tigers do as far as on both sides of the ball. They have the same amount of receivers as the Pryor Tigers do. So what you're really going to have to do is basically just settle in and kind of try to use all these weapons that they do have and stop doing the same old thing.
That carry was from Rickland Holmes to the 24, pick up a 4. Dell City with 2 receivers to each side. Simmons claps his hands, takes the snap. He's back to pass. Looking. It's his second look. This is when he's heaving deep down the field into double coverage, and Josiah Chester was the intended receiver. He gave a good effort to try to go and get the football, but there was just a lot of pressure on Josiah that time. That's what I'm talking about, Gordy.
Exactly.
I think you're going to have to find other receivers, because that's what you're going to see
Right.
a lot of tonight.
Right. One thing we see it, we've seen it out of Overton just a little bit, and we're seeing it out of Simmons today. You can't just lock in on one receiver when you're coming out of that, hike. And this just like I said before, I know they have a lot of confidence in Josiah Chester, but they have a lot of other talent on the field. So you're going to have to scan the field and find that open man. That's going to be the only way that you'll have success moving this ball.
Pryor showing the blitz. It's going to be a rush of 4. It's going to be a screen from Dell City. Might have been the perfect call, because it's Josiah Chester looking for blocks to the 50, cuts back across the 45, and he's taken down at the Pryor 40-yard line. Great play call for Dell City as they had that blitz set up, and a huge gain for the Eagles.
Perfect screen play call on this one, and Josiah Chester able to find a little bit of space and opportunity, and great blocking downfield by the other receivers to give Josiah Chester enough room to break this one past the midfield line.
Now, Davion Simmons going to check out of the ball game. Sincere Overton going to check in at quarterback for Dell City. The threat that Sincere obviously gives you is his ability to run. Now,
right.
You can't forget he can throw the football as well, but this is going to be a straightaway run from Sincere Overton. He runs hard and takes it up to the 37-yard line to pick up a 3. 6:20 left to go in quarter number 1. If you're just now joining us, 14-0 our score. Pryor on top. They scored on their second play from scrimmage on a 50-yard touchdown pass. It was a tremendous play call. And then after that, Dell City had a little bit of a drive going, had to punt, stalled it, punted it, and knocked them deep. And then at first play, quick run from Hughes. He scored 2 touchdowns tonight, done a lot of damage. Overton the snap. He's going to pass it. Looking deep. It's man-to-man coverage this time, but it's just well overthrown, out of bounds. There is going to be a flag down, though. The question will be, was that ball catchable? They're going to say it was. It's going to be pass interference on the Tigers. I think that call is obviously right, Gordy, but was the ball catchable?
The ball was not catchable, but it was the right call. Lucky for Sincere Overton, he released that ball as soon as he was able to kind of break free and gave, like I said, the receiver the chance to draw that penalty, but it was uncatchable. I think the coaches would probably like to see that flag picked up, but that's one of those things that when you're kind of making a little bit of friction and kind of being a little bit more physical with the receiver, referee's going to call that one every time.
Now, Josiah Chester did look a little winded after that play. He stays on the field. He's on the near side of your screen this time. Dell City's going to have 2 running backs in the backfield with Overton. It's Black Wolf and Rickland Holmes. Overton going to keep it up the middle, and he was hit hard as he drives past the 20 to the 18-yard line. Pretty good run, though. I mean, that ball...
Nice hard-nosed run.
Didn't look like he was going to be able to pick up that much, and he did.
But what he needs is a push. He needs some help. The offensive line did such a good job last week. They really kind of got to get back to what they were doing before. I know they're going to have a little bit of different looks, with having this 3-man set on the front. But everybody has to get somebody. Like I said, put that face in front of another man and give your guy a chance.
Going to be a quick fade to Chester. That ball way out of bounds. Man-to-man coverage again, but just didn't give Chester a chance. You know, it's odd because when you watch Sincere in warm-ups, Gordy, he hits every pass on a dime.
Right.
And whenever he's gotten into games, sometimes it looks like to me he maybe rushes those throws a little bit.
These were rushed. These last couple of plays, Colin, you're exactly right, were just rushed. Sincere is not really giving himself enough time to get set and definitely not giving his receivers enough time to run these routes. Sincere just needs to settle down. This is a big game, but Sincere really just has to settle down and find those receivers.
3rd and 6 for the Eagles. Trips to the left. It's going to be a quick pass out here to Caleb Blackwolf. Blackwolf has a couple blockers as he hits the edge of the 10 to the 5. Stiff arm into the end zone. Touchdown, Dell City. A huge answer after hitting a 14-0 hold, and the Eagles find their way into the end zone. A great drive.
Great drive, by the way, especially Caleb Blackwolf. You know, we already know what this gentleman can do with the ball in his hands. Great job by Overton to get it out quickly and find Caleb Blackwolf, but another phenomenal job by Caleb Blackwolf to break a few tackles, make his way over to the promised land, to put Dell City right back in the game, and I hope they make this extra point to make it 14-7.
The kicker for Dell City is a freshman. His name is Uriel Castaneda, and he has been actually really good for Dell City as this is a high snap corral. Nice job by Quincy Hill to corral it. Kick is up. Kick is good. 14-7 our score now. 5:07 to go in quarter number 1, and this might be a shootout. We'll have to wait and see. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you. When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Rickland Holmes set to kick it away. It's a Dell City Chamber of Commerce kickoff. It's a line drive end-over-end kick into the corner. It's going to be returned. This is Hughes again. He has had a busy start to the night. This time, not going to get as good of a return. He'll be stopped at the 31-yard line, and Dell City does a better job on their coverage. That last touchdown by Caleb Blackwolf, a great drive. 2 different quarterbacks in on the action, Davion Simmons, and then Sincere Overton came in like Mariano Rivera on a save. And the Eagles get the touchdown. Brought to you by our good friends over at Madison's Country Cooking. And listen, if you go in there this week, they've got a really good menu. They've got a lot to choose from. They've got a Mediterranean menu, including gyros and kebabs. Also, breakfast all day, free Thanksgiving meal from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you got to go check out Madison's Country Cooking this week. And here in just a minute, I'll get you your code word. It should be a song, and I just went blank on what it was called. It is November Rain. That is the key word, November Rain. You get 10% off if you mention that when you go to Madison's Country Cooking. This is going to be another run to Hughes. Hughes has popped. Finally, Dell City's able to do a great job defensively, sniffing that one out. And guess who it was? It was Rickland Holmes on the tackle.
Great stop by Rickland Holmes and Nicholas Holmes on that one as well. He was unable to break out to the edge and use that speed like he was before. Looks like he's coming up a little bit slow, but great pursuit by Rickland Holmes as far as getting downhill, attacking him, putting that face right in the middle.
2nd and 11 for Pryor. Dell City showing a 4-man front defensively, 2 linebackers. It's Straquan Wright and Rickland Holmes. Still playing their safeties pretty aggressively are Dell City. Nicholas Holmes, in fact, coming to the line of scrimmage almost. Back to pass is Braden Ward, looking deep, man-to-man coverage, and it is caught. Oh, it's dropped! It was a perfect throw. Might have been a little bit of a push-off. Caden Johnson was in coverage. I thought there was a push-off, Gordy, but then also I thought the ball was for sure going to be caught for a walk-in touchdown.
Right.
Caden Johnson and the Eagles caught a break that time. It's 3rd and 11. I didn't see the number there, Gordy, on who dropped that football.
I couldn't tell if that was, I didn't know if that was number 11, Caden Rice. I didn't think it was Tyler Ballou, but either way, wide open route. Like you said, they had a little bit of open coverage and just had a little bit of space on him, just unable to bring that ball in. Try to catch it with his hands, but like I said, good play.
Ward back to pass again. This is going to be a screen. Dell City's all over it. Ball is loose. No whistle. Now there is. It's incomplete.
That was an incomplete
And
pass.
that was the right call, but wishful thinking. I was hoping that they were going to let that one play out.
Oh, my goodness.
So 3 and out for Dell City. Perhaps a little bit of a lucky one. I found out the drop pass there was by Jackson Parks, and he is number 16. He wears 16 and 10. He alternates. Not sure what the situation is with that, but nonetheless, it's a drop. Dell City forces a 3 and out after going into a quick 14-0 hole. All of a sudden, the momentum has shifted right back to the Eagles as they're going to get the ball trailing by 7, 4:06 left to go in the first quarter.
That's exactly what you want. It's change the momentum of the game. Great stop by the Dell City defense.
Now, if you're Dell City, again, you have to be careful on this punt because Pryor does fake punts. They are aggressive in everything they do. This punt over the head of their punter, and it's going to be blocked. Rickland Holmes is right there. Can he get on top of it? He can. Can he escape the tackler? No. He's going to go down at the 39, but the Eagles with great field position after the block. There was a hesitation by the punter, Tyson Spencer, almost as if he just panicked when the ball went over his head.
Definitely.
He still had plenty of time, Gordy, but he panicked and wound up taking too much time, and he got blocked.
Just a little bit of fumble of the hands when he got that snap, just unable to really get control of it. Like you say, caused a little bit of a delay. Once that delay came, so did the rush on the punt. But, like I said, this is just something that'll work out tremendously for Dell City. We'll see how they come out firing.
Well, they come out looking like they're ready to fire. Quads to the near side, a receiver to the far side. It's Sincere Overton at quarterback. Overton just going to take off running to the left. Hits a hole, flag down. That's going to come back on a hold. I thought it was questionable. I was hoping it was going to be deemed clean. It will not. It's going to be brought back for a holding call. Boy, the Dell City coaches do not like that call.
It was a bit quick, but you just really never know, and that's one thing we talked about in the beginning of the game. Dell City is really going to have to be careful when it comes to creating these penalties because this is just one thing that playing against a team like this could be a killer. You don't want this to be your hindrance throughout the game.
I'm trying to go back and watch my replay here to see what they got on the hold. It looked like to me the left tackle perhaps is who they got. Don't have time to dwell on it. 1st and 20 now for Dell City, backed up to their Pryor 49-yard line. Same formation for Dell City, and they're going to take a timeout here. They take a timeout. We'll take a timeout. 3:36 left to go in quarter number 1. It's 14-7 Pryor, but Dell City has woken up after going down 14-0. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself,
Download our free apps on Apple and Android.
Back live with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's 1st and 20 for Dell City. They're going to switch roles on the receivers. They're going to have quads to the top. One receiver to the bottom of the screen. Overton back to pass, looking, throws a high pass. It is a dart thrown for Caleb Blackwolf. He catches it. Blackwolf now starting to make moves. Stays on his feet, now takes himself out of bounds at the 22-yard line. And Gordy, let me tell you, that was a next-level throw.
Right. I was just thinking the same, Colt. I mean, just tremendous setback. And what we talked about earlier, Sincere Overton able to drop back, get those feet set, get those shoulders square, get that ball right over the top to Caleb Blackwolf on the out route. But like you said, that's the best throw of the night, and you can't really get any better than that.
I mean, that is that is the kind of throws you see on Sundays. Not just Saturdays, Sundays.
Right.
That is elite. Right over the defender's head, perfectly in the basket. Dell City with 2 running backs in the backfield. It's Holmes and Blackwolf. Chester goes in motion from right to left. This is going to be a handoff to Rickland Holmes. He's running hard. Pryor's having a hard time dealing with him as he goes inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, and Dell City is in the red zone. Brought to you by Bail Bonds by Tamra. Have you missed the ball on paying a ticket? Call Bail Bonds by Tamra at 405-200-5110. 15 plus years of serving the community at Bail Bonds by Tamra.
Pryor Tigers better watch out right now because Rickland Holmes is definitely starting to get started up, and this is a guy that once he gets started, it's hard to get in front of him.
Going to be a quick run here for Overton as he stretches forward at the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal for Dell City from there.
Good job by Overton to get it just a little bit closer to the goal line. Looks like they're about 2 yards out. Dell City's just doing a really good job on this drive of the push. I'm, like I said, very impressed by these guys kind of settling in and getting a little bit more relaxed. They seem like now they are the aggressor on the game. So let's see what they got.
The Tigers showing some hands on hips early in the ball game. Still 2:48 left to go in the first quarter. Overton the snap. He's going to take it himself up the middle and into the end zone. Dell City right back in this one. Boy, did that turn fast.
All right, we got us a game now, Cole. I'm excited. I was excited from the jump, but now we look like we got both offenses ready to see and test each other.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if this is the way this game's going to go, back and forth like that, I hope you don't have a heart condition.
Right.
2:42 left to go in quarter number one. And Dell City's an extra point away from tying it after looking like they were dead to rights quickly, down 14-0. Castaneda, kick up. Kick is good. We're tied at 14, folks. It's district championship game between Dell City and Pryor. Could you ask for anything more? I think not. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Back live with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. You're taking a look at what we're looking at, the beautiful supermoon out there just to the southwest of the football stadium. Tied at 14 here. Dell City going to be kicking off with 2:42 left to go in the first quarter. It's a Dell City Chamber of Commerce kickoff. This is a short kick that is muffed at the 12-yard line, now picked back up. It's Ballou again. Ballou's got room. 30, 35, 40. Rickland Holmes to beat, but not many are going to do that in open space as Rickland Holmes makes the tackle. When your kicker just happens to be your best player, that's a pretty good saving grace.
It's hard to get by.
That kind of saves you on the last line of defense. But a good return again for Pryor at the 42.
Right. I kind of really, love seeing so much speed on the field on both sides of the ball. We already knew that Dell City had a tremendous amount of speed, but watching Tyler Ballou, watching, Caleb Hughes as well, these guys got some speed, Colt, and these guys can run, and they're on their home field, so they have the utmost confidence. So, like I said, I'm excited to see what the rest of this game is going to contain.
Pryor going to run trips to the near side. They like to spread you out, and looks like they've got Ballou in the slot. This is going to be a handoff to Hughes, who's had a big night early, but on that play, he is stuffed immediately by Gylan King. And King is starting to make play after play the further this season goes on.
Right. Starting to be, him and Draquan Wright, of course, we've got to see these guys, all year. Each week we can see the development of these linebackers in the defensive line. These guys, have really developed quite a bit of chemistry as far as communication goes, especially Mr. Holmes in the middle. These guys do a really good job on the edge, and I said, and they've done a really good job of stopping the run all year.
2nd and 8. Pryor puts a man in motion from left to right. Braden Ward takes the snap. There's going to be a flag, and this play is going to be halted. It's going to be a false start. That'll make this one a little more difficult. 2nd and 13 with 1:56 to go in the first quarter. You can almost see, Gordy, the Pryor, they have a lot of players on their sideline.
Yes.
Which I think they probably have suited up some of their freshmen.
Right.
Because I don't think they have that much depth. But this Pryor team looked very confident, obviously, when you go up 14-0, and now there's a look of concern.
Right.
Still in the first quarter, tied at 14, but a look of concern is maybe, did we just give them our best shot and they answered that quickly?
And sometimes it's like that, and that's one thing you really don't want to do. You don't want to get in your head too much because, like you say, everybody's hyping you up, and, before the game and during the game, you really just have to stay even-keeled and, like I said, know that there's so many minutes left in the game.
Going to be a quarterback keep by Braden Ward. Obviously not the best they can offer. They can offer more. Ward gets the first down to the 41 of the Eagles.
Dell City's Eagles defense just caught sleeping just a little bit. That's one of those things that, you catch a guy slipping. The draw play is the first one that you're going to run right up the middle. I said they have been kind of caught over pursuing, but when you do that, you leave your defense open for draw plays just like that one.
Trips to the far side now. Again, another man in motion. This will make it 2 to each side. Back to pass is Ward. Has time. Sets his feet. Looks over the middle. Has a man wide open. It's caught at the 15-yard line. Flag comes down for a face mask. Caden Johnson in coverage. And he grabbed the face mask at the tail end of it as well.
A little bit behind on that route. So, just like I said, you're giving up too much space. When you're running these post routes and anything like that, you really got to stay on the inside of these receivers. That way, like I said, anybody who's faster than you can kind of cut that one off. But unfortunately, got the face mask right after that completion, but a good pitch and catch by the quarterback and receiver as well.
Well, just as I said a moment ago, that Pryor looked like maybe they had given their best shot.
Right.
And Dell City answered that quickly, but here they are firing right back. And that's a credit to this coaching staff. Their offensive play calling is something you see in the SEC or the Big Ten.
Totally agree.
Really good play calling here. Ward again, this is going to be another draw. He's going to run up the middle, and he is tackled from behind. Somebody came crashing in. That was Devin Joseph, the sophomore. Another young Eagle who's getting better by the week.
Just wreaking havoc. The Dell City defensive line was able to kind of close that up. They really wanted to go to the right side, but once they closed that up so quickly, he tried to change that up and go to the left, but just nothing doing. Like I said, it's a great stop. And like you said before, these guys have done a really good job, by being able to clog up that middle, not really giving up those runs. But let's see if they can hold them here on the goal line.
Trips to the right of the southpaw Ward. Back to pass this time, and he's going to throw it to the corner of the end zone. It's going to be almost intercepted. Closing in quickly was Nicholas Holmes. And, Gordy, what do you say? Detective what?
Detective Holmes on the case once again. Got that paw up just enough hand to be able to knock that down. I thought the receiver might have had a chance, but Mr. Holmes has a little bit of hops, so he was able to kind of cut that one off. So great job by the defense.
Had that ball not been thrown as high as it was, that would have been 6 going the other way.
Right, definitely, no doubt.
Nicholas Holmes was thinking touchdown all the way. 3rd and goal. This is going to be a delayed. Tried to get Dell City to jump. Almost did. I think that was Walter Franklin, or rather it was Ricklin Holmes who came charging in. Pryor's going to take a timeout. 33 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. It's tied at 14. 3rd and goal for the Tigers. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Back live with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's the district championship game between Dell City and Pryor. 14-14 our score late in the first. Pryor has it 3rd and goal at the 6. Braden Warren brings Ballou in motion. He's going to roll to his left. Now look back to the other way. He's got a man wide open, and it is caught for the touchdown. Black Wolf put a huge hit on Braden Ward. He popped right up and celebrated because that was a heck of a patient throw by the senior. And that's what we talked about. With this being an experienced football team, they're going to take their shots, but they're going to still make plays.
Such a great call by the offensive coordinator with the misdirection call. And like you said, Braden Ward able to use that hesitation and kind of throw the defense off. Everybody going to the left. And while he was there, like I said, using his eyes to kind of draw that defense off, was able to float right back to the right side and find that open receiver. Like I said, perfect play call in the red zone.
I think Dell City's going to have to start running more zone defense, Gordy. They're not fast enough in the back end to keep up right now.
Right.
As this is going to be that double reverse pass wide open. 2-point conversion is successful for Pryor. They now take the lead 22-14. Dell City again on their heels. 28 seconds left to go in the first quarter. We'll keep it here as Dell City, defensively, they're just trying to find answers. And I think that's the answer, Gordy. You just can't keep playing man-to-man. And
that's the truth. you're going to have to go with the zone here. But you said you're playing against such speed receivers, and these guys are making such smart play calls as well, trying to catch these guys off balance, and they're really just doing a really good job of utilizing every weapon that they have on offense. There's no particular receiver that they're trying to go to. They're just trying to put the ball in Ward's hands and let him make those decisions, and they're doing a really good job of doing that.
We mentioned in the pregame that Pryor likes to get a ton of guys involved.
Right.
They've already gotten 4 different guys involved.
Exactly.
That shows you we're just in the first quarter here. And,
I'm impressed with the play calling. I'm very impressed with the play calls.
You and me both. I think everyone at home probably is. Pryor has come in very prepared for this football game. And, Dell City's pass rush is not getting there quick enough.
Right.
That's the first thing. But the second thing is their safeties are playing way too aggressively, and you're putting your guys on islands right now. They're going to have to figure out an answer and make an adjustment, as this kick will be booted just into the end zone for a touchback. No return for Dell City. And that in its own right there, Gordy, is big, because Dell City is so dangerous in the return game.
Right.
The fact that Pryor can limit that,
right,
that's one less thing they have to worry about.
And that's the thing, you're playing in a set formation on defense. If you're going to play this type of way, you have to play a certain style of physical football as well. As a defensive back myself, there can't be any space given up. You really have to stay like you're almost guarding somebody in basketball, like it's a one-on-one thing, so you can't give that amount of space, and you have to match them speed for speed as well. When you're playing against a team like this, you're going to throw them off.
Overton in the backfield has Black Wolf and Holmes. This is going to go to Black Wolf. Black Wolf has a hole, gets hit in the back, and he keeps turning up to the 30-yard line. He's spun down there. It's going to be enough for an Eagle first down.
Nice, tough run by number 5, Caleb Black Wolf, again, keeping that ball moving for the Dell City Eagle offense.
The Dell City offensive line, who has struggled throughout the year, 2 weeks in a row, they've been dominant, and they are dominating the line of scrimmage in this game as well. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Sorry, Gordy, go ahead.
No. Sorry, Colt. They're just starting to get a lot more comfortable, and you could tell.
Overton going to keep this one, running right. Flag down, going to be a hold. That'll be the last play of the first quarter, as well as forward progress was stopped. As I just talked about the offensive line dominating, they get a hold.
Right.
I'm jinxing them every time.
Well, they're coming with such a quick blitz, and that's the thing I love about this the defensive line for the Pryor Tigers. They're getting off the ball really quickly. So as soon as that ball is hiked, they're getting off that ball. So they're kind of catching these offensive linemen off guard just a little bit. I said the quickness is just there, and that's one of those things that when you have a speedy amount of guys on the field on defense like Pryor does, you're really just going to have to kind of, like we said before, make sure you keep that face in front of that other and try to cut them off as much as you can and protect that quarterback.
So I guess because there was a penalty, we will run another play. I don't know what's going on. Now there's 1:20 on the clock. So that must have been a mistake, Gordy. That must not have been the end of the first. I don't know. That was really confusing. 1st and 20. The clock shows 1:20 left to go in the first quarter now. So I guess that was wrong earlier. This is going to be a screen pass. That might be backwards. They're going to call it incomplete. Quick call by the near line judge. He thought it was incomplete. The Pryor coaches thought it was backwards. There might be a conversation about that.
They're definitely discussing it. So I guess Dell City just decided to go ahead and go along with this screenplay again to see if they could try to make some of the yards that was lost up.
It is an incomplete pass, and Pryor's coach not happy about it. From my angle, I couldn't tell. It was close. That is the end of the first quarter. I was right. There was just an untimed down there. That was the situation. So we will take a break. 22-14 after the first quarter. Pryor on top in this district championship game on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. You need our number in your phone.
This could be you. If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network, 2nd and 20 for the Eagles. Now it's going to be 2nd and 25. It's a false start.
Got to know your own count when you come out of these timeouts, Colt. That's just a thing that just cannot happen.
Dell City has Nicholas Holmes out at receiver, and he might be a guy. He or Walter Franklin, one of those two guys are going to have to get open here and make a play. And for Dell City, I mean, now you have to kind of throw the ball, but there for a minute. I mean, running between the tackles seems to be the recipe for success against Pryor with that 3-man front.
Definitely. Putting a little bit of pressure on with this pass attack.
Quick pass out of the backfield. Slipping and falling is Rickland Holmes. It falls incomplete. I thought for a moment that was going to be a huge play.
Right.
And I couldn't tell if the pass was off or if Rickland just lost his footing or maybe both.
A little bit of both, Colt. I think you're exactly correct. Rickland Holmes kind of lost his footing just a little bit, but that blitz kind of caused Sincere Overton to try to dump the ball just a little bit quicker than he probably wanted to.
3rd and 25 for Dell City. They need to get the ball to their own 40-yard line. Going against a loud crowd right now. Cowbells are a-turning. 2 receivers to each side of Sincere. Rickland Holmes in the backfield. It's a low snap. Corralled somehow by Overton. Now he's looking, throws over the middle. He's got Rickland Holmes. This could turn into something here. Rickland to the 30, 35, stays on his feet to the 39-yard line, just short of the first down. But my goodness, what looked like was going to be a disaster turns into a play where now if you're Dell City, you're thinking, all right, looks like we're going for this. Let's see. 4th and 1. There's a flag down. I'm sorry. Thank you, Cedric, for pointing it out. Ineligible receiver downfield.
Just a killer, unfortunately. That's just one of the ones that, of course, like we always say, we love to have back. But Sincere Overton able to make something out of nothing by getting the ball out after this little slip and getting that ball into Rickland Holmes' hands, who was really able to kind of get it almost to the field, but ineligible man downfield, so that ball will have to come back.
You at home can see better than me, but looking at my small screen on the replay, that, to me, was not the right call. Who's downfield? I mean, I don't understand. The referees missed that, folks.
I totally agree. When you have so many receivers like that, I don't really understand who else could have been. We didn't have any offensive linemen down the field.
Well, they missed that one. Going to be 3rd down and even longer for Dell City, and they're going to take a timeout. 11:32 left to go. Dell City's had a lot of calls go against them here. Most of them have been correct. That one not. And that's a big one. Dell City, now you almost have to think, if you're Coach Jones, Gordy, you've got to be thinking, hey, guys, let's make sure we don't turn it over here.
Definitely.
Let's not get too overzealous.
Well, the penalties have already set them back so much further in just this one drive. So Dell City is really going to have to just buckle down and try to see if they could just get this ball past the midfield line.
This gives me a moment to tell you about our first quarter sponsor, our first half sponsor in general. It's Whataburger of Midwest City off of 15th Street. They welcome you to come by after the game tonight for a free medium French fry with any purchase. Just say you're with Dell City High School and the Oklahoma Sports Network sent you. Only good on game day, only at the 15th Street location. Yeah, I mean, the penalties are going to be a crucial thing, Gordy, but one of the other things I think for Dell City, the one thing that's working really well is running the ball between the tackles.
For sure. Like you said before, the offensive line has done a really good job of coming together these last couple of weeks, creating that push. They have been the physical aggressor on that end. So they're just really going to have to get back to what they've been doing. And like you say, just utilize this time.
Dell City with a tighter formation offensively. Black Wolf in motion from right to left. Back to passes Overton, has time, sets his feet, throws deep over the middle, and it is almost intercepted. He was looking for Nicholas Holmes. Had he caught it, he would have been 12 yards short of the first down. More to lose than there was to gain on that play. Dell City got away with one. They'll have to punt out of their own end zone.
Bit of a surprise that he decided to go right up in that middle. It was a little bit dangerous. Thank goodness he didn't get that one picked off because he was kind of just set and locked on that one particular receiver. That's one of the things that you really don't want to do when you're on this side of the field, especially in the end, the part of the field that they're in. You really don't want to give up any of these turnovers, but thank goodness he wasn't able to come down with that interception.
Dangerous return man is Ballou. Rickland Holmes has plenty of time to kick it. Can he keep it away from him? No. It's a line drive kick straight into the arms. Didn't even have to move. Catches it, runs past the 40, and he'll take himself out of bounds at the 34-yard line. And Pryor wanted a late hit out of bounds, but I think it was a good no call. Dell City did a good job of
just letting
go. So Pryor gets the ball at the 35. And what's a killer about that, Gordy, and I'm not trying to dwell, but ineligible receiver downfield. What happens is Dell City would have gone for it at their own 39. If they didn't get it, they'd be in the exact same position they are now.
Exactly.
And that's what makes that call even more frustrating.
It's tough. Small calls like that can be game changers, and we already have seen it so many, different times. It's just one of those things that it's out of the hands of the actual people who are running the play. But like I said before, I'm not sure if that was just a tied in on the end. I just really didn't see who that man exactly was that was ineligible.
Dell City with a 4-man front. Pryor now going to run trips to the right. Brock Ward going to run a quarterback keep to the right side. Black Wolf does a great job and makes the tackle, only a gain of 1.
Great stop.
That's the second time tonight that Caleb Blackwolf has introduced himself to Braden Ward.
Right.
Braden keeps popping up. He is a tough kid, is Braden Ward. He's
Definitely
a senior quarterback, and I remember last season Dell City won that game 42-12, but I walked away thinking Pryor's going to be really good next year because that quarterback can flat out play.
Not a tremendous amount of size on Braden Ward, but like you say, he is just tough. I mean, he's taking some hits, and he's, like I said, showing us what a tremendous arm that he has as well.
Ballou in motion, number 17. Going to be a quick pass out here to the near side, caught by Lance Young. And Lance Young going to go past the 30 to the 29-yard line. Check that. That is actually going to be Jackson Parks. He's wearing number 10 tonight. He keeps throwing me off. He wears 16 and 10. 10 tonight. So it'll be 3rd and 4, or 3rd and 5, They need to get the ball to the 24-yard line. This is probably 4-down territory for Pryor. Have 2 plays to pick this up. Dell City just has to stay in their lanes. That's the big thing, this misdirection of play calling.
Right.
You just have to stay home.
Definitely. City in the 4-man front.
Hand off to Hughes. Hughes trying to go right, nowhere to go. Brought down, no gain on the play. It'll be 4th down and 4. They did give him a yard. So with it being 4th and 4, if you're Pryor, you probably go for this. That's why you ran that play, knowing you were going to go for it on 4th. They're going to check in a bunch of different players. Hughes in the backfield. So is Ballou, I believe, with Braden Ward. Dell City with a 4-man front. Look at the back end of Dell City. If somebody gets behind one of those corners, it's going to be wide open. Dell City playing up. Coach Jones backing them up here. Now they're playing off a little bit more. Going to be a handoff running right to Hughes. Can Hughes get it? No! Caleb Blackwolf sticks him short of the 1st down.
And that's how you come downhill, folks. If you're at the safety position, that's how you do it. That is how you come down and you stop the runner short of a 1st down. You have to come straight downhill. No hesitation by Caleb Blackwolf on that one.
Boy, somebody for Dell City is getting an earful from Coach Jones, and someone for Pryor is getting an earful from their head coach. Somebody missed a block, apparently. That play call was a little bit, maybe the first one I questioned for Pryor, Gordy. Like, you're going to go outside against Dell City?
I was actually surprised, but, I think the coaches that, for the Tigers have so much confidence in these guys because they have so much speed. If he was able to kind of turn that corner, he would have been able. He was almost a step away from getting that 1st down, really just trying to keep this defense off balance, what it looks like.
Overton, the quick snap. As soon as they get out there, he takes off running. He's got possibly a little bit of room as he keeps turning. He's close to the 1st down as he pushed all the way to the 37-yard line. They're going to move the sticks. 1st down, Dell City. Good run from Sincere.
Oh, I'm telling you, there's great pull blocks by the offensive line, able to kind of get Sincere a little bit more space when he's able to break over to this right side. But like I said, plenty of time left for Dell City on the clock to see if they can make something out of this.
Yeah, 8 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Dell City has 1 timeout. I would imagine the way this game has gone, we've still got 4 possessions in this quarter.
Exactly.
Overton will hand this one to Blackwolf. Blackwolf has a little bit of room as he turns forward to the 43-yard line. A good gain, pickup of 6 on 1st down.
Nice, tough run again by number 5.
And again, the Dell City offensive line between the tackles dominating the line of scrimmage.
Definitely.
Hopefully I didn't jinx him again.
No.
Last time I did that, got a holding call the next play. So
well, they've done a good job of holding up, Colt. And this is something that is going to be an all-day affair, so you can't give up.
Well, you have to win against a 3-man front. Ricklin Holmes, the carry. He is going to get the 1st down. A vicious stiff arm as he goes past midfield. An unbelievably tough run down to the 46-yard line by Ricklin Holmes.
And that one was all Mr. Holmes on that one. Just straight hard-nosed running.
7:45 to go in the half. Dell City trailing at 22-14. If you're just now joining us, Pryor went up 14-0 quickly. Within 4 offensive plays, they were up quickly, and then Dell City responded, tied the game up at 14. Pryor, a couple possessions ago, scored and went for 2, got it, and now Dell City looking to answer. Overton out of the gun, 2 receivers to each side. Takes the snap, back to pass, has plenty of time, pumps, looks deep, has a man open over the middle. It's Josiah Chester running underneath it, and it's dropped. Josiah Chester, it's almost like he thought the ball was going to be thrown further than it was, perhaps.
Right, just kind of slowed itself down just a little bit on the pump fake by Sincere Overton. Like I said, he was trying to go with a little hitch and go on the post route, but like I said, he just never slowed down, and once he did see the ball in the air, tried to slow himself down, had the ball just dead to rights, right in his palms, but just unable to bring it in.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first drop by Josiah Chester this year.
Really?
And it came at a bad time. 2nd and 10 for Dell City. Back to pass again. Going to be a run by Overton. Overton going to try to hit the edge. He slips, and had he not slipped, he was going to get hit pretty hard.
Definitely.
So maybe a fortunate slip. Picks up a gain of 2. So it'll be 3rd and 8 for Dell City. And Josiah Chester was sitting out on that play to catch his breath. He's back in now. You know, again, the thing is, Gordy, as a coach, when a guy drops a pass, I mean, you don't have to say anything to them. They know.
They know. You know, I think everybody knows. And it's just one of those things, like you said, there's just nothing you could really say to a guy, you know, except to, we'll get him on the next one. You know, you just got to keep the same confidence and try to go back to him again. I mean, that was just a perfect play call, and it was actually a perfect throw as well by Overton. The receiver's just going to have to do their job and make sure and see that ball right into their hands.
You know, for Dell City on this play, they're going to have to take a timeout and talk about it. The way Pryor was lined up defensively, the middle of the field might be open. We'll see if they run that when we come back. 6:27 left to go in the half. 22-14, Pryor on top on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back live with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Quarter number 2 brought to you by Whataburger on 15th Street in Midwest City. Go by and get you a free fry with any purchase. Just say you're with Dell City High School and the Oklahoma Sports Network sent you. Yeah. Buy a Coke, you get a free fry. That's the way it goes. Nice. Only good on game day, only at the 15th Street location. 3rd and 8 for Dell City. They need it desperately. 6:27 left to go in the half. They're trailing by 8. Overton back to pass. 3-man rush, has time. Looks, throws. It's a wheel route to Black Wolf out of the backfield. On a dime, Black Wolf the catch. Can Black Wolf get into the end zone? He can! Touchdown, Dell City. Caleb Black Wolf has brought his game tonight, and a huge answer for Dell City as maybe the best 2 passes of the year for Sincere Overton right there.
That's no doubt, Cole. I mean, just dropped a dime straight over the top. And Mr. Reliable, Caleb Black Wolf himself, he just continues to impress, able to break a few tackles as well on that one. But Sincere, such patience shown by this young man. And on that one, that's one of those passes that, if the timing is off just a little bit, you can miss a receiver. But he was able to make that connection. Him and Caleb Blackwolf have had, a lot of connections this year as well. But Caleb Blackwolf able to put it in the end zone and give Dell City a fighting chance in this game.
Extra point by Castaneda is good. 22-21 our score. Pryor on top with 6:16 left to go in the second quarter. And Gordy, this game giving me some flashback vibes to that OU Texas Tech game a few years ago.
Oh, my goodness. Just a high-scoring affair. It's one of those I haven't never forgotten about.
Yeah, that was one. I remember watching that game.
Right.
And at one point, I think my dad texted me and said if I was Patrick Mahomes, I would want to rip everybody's head off on the defense on my own team.
Right.
And, hopefully it doesn't get to that point here. A lot of times these teams will make adjustments.
Yeah.
But the one thing for Dell City, their defense has been pretty dominant almost all year long.
Yes.
So it does make you wonder, can they make an adjustment and get a couple stops here in the second half.
Well, eventually, these guys are going to tire out just a little bit. I mean, they're putting a lot of pressure on their legs. So, the closer that you get to the fourth quarter, you guys are running like racehorses. So, eventually somebody's going to give, and you just got to keep on grinding it out. And that's the thing. That's why we have a 4-quarter game, and that's what I love about it. It's not over till it's over. And like I said, Dell City, they have horses. The Pryor Tigers, they have horses. We're going to see if these guys are going to be able to race and hold each other throughout the night.
This kick brought to you by the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. They are the resource for education and engagement to help you improve your business. Rickland Holmes will kick it away yet again. Line drive kick right up the middle here. Going to be caught and fielded. This time it's going to be Hughes who brings it out past the 20, finds a hole, flag down, and it's a good return up to the 35, but there's 2 flags down. I think we're going to get a block in the back, perhaps on Pryor, which will back them up. They're going to call it a hold instead. Either way, it'll back them up from the spot of the foul 10 yards. That'll put them at about the 11, so bad field position to start for Pryor. That last play, that unbelievable throw on a wheel route out of the backfield. Haven't seen that call all season long for Dell City, and a perfect throw from Sincere Overton. He is making throws tonight that we haven't seen all year. He's making them now when they needed them. And Caleb Blackwolf, a leader of this football team, stepping up and making catches and putting the ball in the end zone. That touchdown was brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. The key word this week, I already forgot what it was, Gordy. It was a Guns N' Roses song.
It's a Guns N' Roses song.
Give me a second, but we'll tell you more about them. I don't know why it's not sticking in my head. Check their Mediterranean menu, including gyros and kebabs. Also breakfast all day. And on Thanksgiving, that's coming up, free meals from 9 to 4 p.m. I'll get you that key word here in just a minute.
November rain.
Thank you.
November rain. So make sure and say that.
You saved me there, Gordy.
No
Run up the middle. It's a good hit. Someone really stuck Hughes after a pickup of 3. That word doesn't stick in my mind because I don't really know anything about Guns N' Roses.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody at home right now is going, oh, gosh, I knew I didn't like that guy. But
When you sent me, I was like, I had to look the song up immediately. Like when you sent that to me, I was like, I don't know if I heard this one before. But, yeah, I'm definitely familiar with Guns N' Roses. I was born, back in the 80s, So like I said, I know a little something about that rock.
Now, on that play, there was a hard hit, and Rickland Holmes is the one who provided that hit. He is shaken up, and that is the last thing Dell City wants to see, as he is actually having to be guided off the field here. He tried to get off on his own power, and he dropped to a knee just as he got to the numbers, and now he's taking himself off the field. You have to just hope he maybe got the air knocked out of him.
Right.
Best wishes there to Rickland. We need him back in the ball game.
No doubt.
2nd and 8 coming up for Pryor. 5:43 left to go in the half. 22-21, Pryor on top. Been about as exciting of a football game as you'd ever see if you like offense.
Exactly, and I'm excited. They have so much time left in the game.
2 receivers to each side of Ward. He takes the snap back to pass. With Rickland on the sideline, this might be their time to shine. Is Ward going to take off running? Caleb Blackwolf will hit him, but it's going to be still a good pickup up to the 22-yard line. They're going to mark him just shy of that first down marker. It'll be 3rd and inches.
Able to break out on that quarterback draw once again. Good thing for the defense, they did not over-pursue, but Ward is just using a lot of patience when it comes to these plays and making great decisions when carrying the ball and when passing the ball. He's able to get his, almost to the first down marker.
Good news for Dell City. Rickland Holmes back into the ball game, so must have been just the air knocked out of him. 3rd and short. Ward the snap, takes off running immediately, gets the first down as he'll cross the 35 to the 36-yard line. Good push up front by the Pryor offensive line. This is an important drive for Pryor. You feel like if you're Dell City, the way this game has gone, even though it's been so back and forth, you still, anytime you're on the road, if you can get a lead, that can be crucial.
Especially in games like this. They're just so tight right now. Every stop is important, and these penalties, like I said, could be a killer. But what you really want to do is create a turnover on downs that each of these teams, they have such, a huge advantage if they can get ahead on the scoreboard.
1st and 10 for Pryor. Dell City with a 4-man front defensively. Misdirection play. Quick pass. Pressure was there immediately. Braden Ward took a huge hit in on the pressure. Delivering the hit was Jalen Andrews.
Jalen Andrews just getting through that defensive line so quickly, putting that pressure on Ward. Ward had to release the ball a little bit more quicker than he had planned on. But like I said, it was great, play calling by the defense and just to put that pressure on Ward.
2nd and 10 coming up for Pryor. You know, I'm looking at our numbers right now. We have well over 1,000 people watching our game right now through all our networks.
That's good. That's really good.
We welcome you and appreciate you trusting us to bring you the football game tonight in Pryor.
You're listening to the best in Colton Fleetwood. That's a guarantee.
I appreciate it. We've got a good crew here that helps carry me. Rickland Holmes, the pressure ran right through him, man. Now Ward going to step up, and he's going to be tackled after picking up a few yards past the 30, got it to the 33-yard line. Rickland Holmes shot out like a raging bull as he ran Hughes over, trying to block him in the backfield. It was a gutsy play by Hughes to throw his body in there. He's going to have to come out of the ball game. He stuck himself in there.
He's stuck. He's a tough kid. This guy is tough. But good tackle by Draquan Wright, to be able to stop that one as well. That was almost the first down.
Pryor hasn't taken a shot in a while now. You have to wonder when they might take one again. They need to get the ball to the 37-yard line. It's 3rd down. Ward, misdirection, runs right up the middle. He's got the first down easily. He gets it up to the 45-yard line. Huge hole.
Once again.
And he comes up pumped up about it.
Oh, he's hype. He's hype, and I understand why. Braden Ward is just making some phenomenal reads, making good reads on these draw plays, making good reads on these RPOs. The kid is just out there, doing what he does, and that's quarterbacking. When you're a good quarterback like that, you can control the offense, and when you're a good quarterback like that, you can control the defense as well, and he's doing a good job of doing it.
Pryor picking up on Dell City's defense that they're starting to play back a little bit more. Now they're taking what's in front of them. Back to pass is Ward. He's got man-to-man coverage deep. Caden Johnson in coverage, and that might be enough to draw a flag, and it will.
It will.
Pass interference, it's the right call.
Just can't put your hands on him, Colt. He had good coverage. He was actually in good position. There's kind of really no reason to make that contact.
That's just, right there. Caden just didn't trust himself. Caden made a great play. It was in good position to make a play on the ball. He just, I think, panicked a little bit.
I agree.
Knowing he's on an island in the back end. Nicholas Holmes was trying to run it down from behind, just couldn't get there. Black Wolf telling Caden, hey, you're good, man. Trust yourself.
Definitely.
And right there, that's exactly what it was. Caden just didn't trust himself. He made the play. He read it right, did everything right, just didn't finish it.
Right. Great position.
It's a first down to the 40. 3:19 left to go in the half. Ward play action, back to pass. Pressure coming again. Ward is drilled. This ball overthrown. The pressure again brought by Jalen Andrews. Man, and if Andrews didn't get there, that actually the play was open.
Right.
I think it rushed that throw, and that ball went soaring out of bounds.
Definitely. He's able to get out on that flag route. Just create just enough space to be able to make that reception. But good job by Wright, able to put this pressure, such pressure on Ward, making him release the ball a lot earlier than he wanted to.
Did I said right? I think I meant to say Jalen Andrews. Sorry about that. If I said right, sorry. This is going to be a false start on Pryor. Makes it 2nd and 15. Jalen Andrews only a sophomore, and he is making an impact on this game. He's had 3 quarterback hurries tonight.
Definitely.
And a couple of them have been crucial, that one included.
Well, I love watching him and Rickland Holmes, play together, as well as Wright. Draquan coming off that end. I said these guys got a really good core of linebackers. And, the speed we talked about so many times. We don't really have to say it again. But like I said, these guys are just getting smarter by the week. And like I said before, they're just putting a lot of pressure on a great quarterback today and making Ward, make decisions that he probably wouldn't want it.
Gordy, here in a minute, I want to ask you if you're surprised. We'll let you answer it in a minute. But I want to ask you how surprised you are with Dell City playing as much man-to-man as they are. This is going to be a blitz off the edge, and it's going to be whistled dead. Going to be a timeout called by Pryor. That is their second of the half with 3:12 left to go. Let's let you answer that question. How surprised are you with Dell City's defensive scheme? They're playing a lot of man, trusting their guys in the back end.
That's it. Playing the zone, and it gets dangerous. I watch a lot of NFL football, watch a lot of college football, and a lot of times these zones can get you in trouble. Sometimes I've seen some of these zones where I'm asking the coaches, I'm talking to the screen like, why aren't you just going to go man? Because when you do have a set of receivers and you have a set of defensive backs that do have speed, let's lock them up. I want to give, like I said, we're playing basketball now. I want to create that space, but it's a one-on-one matchup, so you got to watch these crossing routes. You got to watch these flag routes. You can't give these receivers any space. It has to be you staying inside these guys' pocket 100% of the time. But when you have that trust in your defensive backs, you know that they're going to execute that, and that's the best way that you can kind of stop a threat, especially an air raid threat. Anybody coming, you can't give that much cushion. You can't give that much space. So as a defense, when you're going on man, it's always like, let's lock them up. We're not going to give up any space to these guys. And if they beat me one-on-one, then I'm just going to have to battle throughout the game.
Well, that appears to be Dell City's game plan tonight.
Right.
It's worked some. It's not worked some.
Sometimes it doesn't. If you can't hang, Cole, you can't hang. So there's nothing you can do about that. But this is how you learn. This is how you learn. And this is when you get down to the nitty gritty. I want one-on-one. I want to press, and I want to be up in my receiver's face, and they're going to have to beat me. And that's just the main thing. You have to take on that challenge.
Now Dell City running 4 high here, 3-man front. In motion is Hughes. This is going to be another quarterback run up the middle. Going to be a pick. 5 yards back to the initial line of scrimmage, just shy of it. Nope, now they mark it at the 40. So it'll be a pickup of 5. It'll be 3rd and 10 for Pryor. And again, they're back in that situation where unless you lose yards on this play, you might go for it on 4th down. The way this game has gone,
right,
that could be the route they choose. With 2:50 left to go in the half, they're trying to run some clock here. Dell City has no timeouts left. Pryor has 1. Dell City, the same defense. 3-man rush from Dell City. Plenty of time for Braden Ward. Now he's just going to take off, and he's going to launch it downfield, man-to-man coverage. It is caught for a touchdown off the deflection.
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Man, the defense that was shown and played, you just can't get any better. We were there. They were there. Almost an interception, but he was able to come up with that tip to kind of get that in for that reception.
I think that was Josiah Chester in coverage. Looked like he was going to intercept it. In fact, he had it in his hands. Then it got knocked out of his hands and was juggled around and caught for the touchdown.
Perfect play, perfect coverage on the ball. Like we talked about before, locked up in this one-on-one defense. When you're going man, it's just, one of those things, just an unfortunate tip that just tipped right back into that receiver's hands.
This is a big 2-possession, or a big play right here, at this point of the game, because Pryor gets this 2-point conversion. It's a 2-possession game, 30-21. Dell City needs to stop this and keep it at 7.
Just such a huge play on that reception.
Those are the kind of plays that get you beat, folks.
Definitely.
Ward spins off on misdirection. Pressure coming, throws it on a dime, in there. It's good. Flag down. It's going to be declined because it was on Dell City.
A little bit of holding maybe.
I don't like – I'm not trying to complain.
Right.
Dell City's trying different things defensively to see what they can figure out, but on a 3-man rush,
right,
you're giving a really good quarterback a lot of time.
Giving him too much time, especially like we talked about before. You got crossing routes going on. This is going to give any of these people cutting across each other. We got people running into each other. There's so much congestion in the middle. You're just kind of really opening up that door for the offense to be able to get in the end zone.
Yeah, well, you're kind of I can't say that on the air, but you're kind of darned either way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If we're talking about if you play man-to-man defense and you play aggressive, you're getting beat that way.
Right.
If you try to go back and you rush 3 guys,
they're going to eat you up.
It's one of those things for Dell City. They've got to figure out which way they want to go with it. That was a lucky play.
It was. It
was a talented play. Give credit to Pryor, but it was a lucky play. It was a break. They caught it, and then they go and get the 2-point conversion. 30-21 our score. Pryor on top with 2:27 left to go. Dell City starts with the football in the second half. So if they're able to get points on this drive, the second half, they can get the lead with their first possession. We'll see if they can. They've got no timeouts to work with, and they probably will not have much of a return.
Right.
I don't see any flags, Gordy. I don't know which way the wind's blowing, if at all.
Right. Not very windy at all. It's almost perfect, at the moment. But Dell City, we know they're capable of scoring, and they're capable of scoring really quickly, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're really going to have to kind of lock in, and now they get it on their 20-yard line as well. But Dell City's just going to have to lock in and try to see if they can get some points on the board, to make up for that last touchdown. They played a really good amount of defense. Actually tremendous defense. Just one play just kind of got away from them. So they're really going to have to see if they can go back to the drawing board, put some points on the board, and try to create that next stop.
That was another booming kick for a touchback. Whew.
No doubt.
Big leg. Like I said, Kyson Spencer, one of the best kickoff specialists in the state of Oklahoma. And not only that, he's a tremendous athlete. He can do a lot, both offensively and defensively. He's a weapon. The kind of player you want on your football team.
No doubt.
Overton out of the gun. Rickland Holmes in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to left, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Black Wolf in motion. Going to be a handoff to Rickland Holmes. Pryor read it well, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes when Rickland Holmes gets it, doesn't matter how well you coverage, you still got to tackle. He picks up 9 up to the 28-yard line.
still able to pick up a great amount of yards on that run.
They're actually going to call it an 8-yard gain, 2nd down and 2 for Dell City. Dell City taking their time getting this play call in with 2 minutes left to go in the half. 20 seconds on the play clock. Trips to the far side of your screen. Josiah Chester down here on the low side. Now they're going to send Rickland Holmes in motion. And a flag going to come in. False start. I didn't see it. No argument from the coaches. I just was not looking at it, I guess.
May have had a little bit of movement on the offensive line on that one. I think when everybody was kind of turning around to try to get the play, we might have had a slight jump by the guard.
Dell City, same formation. This time, Rickland going to go to the other side to make it quads. All the way out to the 20-yard line. Overton to pass. 3-man rush. There's a man spying Overton. He's got plenty of time. Now he's rushed. Now he's got to take off. The spy left him, so Overton can run and did not get upfield very quickly. In fact, he's going to be thrown out of bounds. The referee grabbed his flag and then decided not to throw it. I think he was going to call a face mask and then changed his mind. Did you see that, Gordy?
I'm actually watching the same referee, so I saw him talking to the coach, so I guess he did not see the face mask on that one.
I mean, he literally took it out of his pocket, started to throw it, and he pump faked it and decided to put it back in his pocket.
Right. He must not have had a good grip on it, and that's what I'm assuming, that he may have just swiped it just a little bit, but just nowhere to go for Sincere Overton on that one, unfortunately.
3rd and 4 for Dell City. This is a big play because you're going to give the ball right back to Pryor with 1:25 left to go in the half. Overton brings Black Wolf in motion. Whistle's blown, and we're going to get another penalty on Dell City, this time a delay of game. This will make it 3rd and 10.
Actually surprised that was called after the ball was hiked, but I knew they were kind of running low on time just a little bit.
This Pryor crowd making a lot of noise tonight.
Right.
You know, when you're in the booth at any stadium, even like Division I OU football games, if you're up in the booth, you don't hear much. Mm-hmm. This glass really blocks it out, but we can sure hear it up here in the booth. That tells you how loud it is. This is a college-level atmosphere.
Definitely. And it is packed.
Overton again, feeling pressure, steps up, slips, and falls. Timeout called by Pryor. That's their final one with 1:15 left to go. Clock still running, but they'll put some time back on the clock here.
Not really sure what's going on. We've had a lot of slips, on the field by both teams.
Referees are having a conversation, so I don't know what the conversation would be about. 4th and 12 for Dell City. They'll have to punt it away. They'll take a timeout. We'll go ahead and take a quick timeout with them. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Dell City set to punt. Neither team has any timeouts remaining with 1:17 left to go in the half. Pryor leads at 30-21. You almost feel like the game's on the line for Dell City. They cannot give up points before the half.
Each possession is huge in this game, and that's what I love about games like this, Cole.
Pryor coming after the kick, and it is a short kick. It's a high kick, but short. Will it take a good bounce? It bounces straight up in the air, and it'll be downed at the 44. Downed quickly by Davion Oko with 1:09 left to go. That is plenty of time for this Tiger offense with the amount of distance they have to go.
Right. Just a short field to work with. And I imagine the Pryor coach is going to come out firing. this is a perfect opportunity to put this game out of reach. And like you said, one more score, it's going to be very difficult for Dell City to even recover in the second half. So Dell City is really going to have to lock up on this one.
We told you in the pregame, folks, if you were listening, that Gordy and I both told you this Pryor team is for real. We've heard a lot of people this week saying, everyone thinks they're good until they play Dell City. No, this team is good, they're fast. They're well coached. This is one of the best offenses in the state. Back to pass is Ward, and a great play by Walter Franklin to break it up, and he's letting him know about it. Much to the disliking of this Pryor crowd.
Oh, shoot. It gets chippy like that, but defense is doing their job, and that's what you really want to do. Great coverage, on that one by Walter Franklin, and that's what you got to do. And if I was Dell City right now, if I was a defensive back, I'd be doing everything I could to make sure and get inside the head of the Pryor Tigers.
Did Dell City jump off sides, Gordy?
Yeah, able to get him to jump.
Gives him 5 yards right back. 2nd and 5.
Got to stay
inside
focused.
the 40, yeah. 1:03 left to go. Dell City looks like they're going to bring pressure off the edge on the near side here. If that's the case, it'll be a 5-man rush. Instead, they'll back out of the blitz, only rush 4. Ward taking off running, puts Draquan right on skates, and he gets forward to the 27-yard line. Caleb Blackwolf was the man to make the tackle. It's another first down.
Good run. Good run by Ward on that one. Good decision made. Just a little bit over pursuing, by our linebacker set.
It's going to be a screen play, and Blackwolf tried to make the tackle. He whiffed. Somebody else made the tackle in the back end. I think Devin Joseph came all the way over from his defensive tackle position to make that tackle. That was not necessarily the play you wanted if you're Pryor. That runs the clock down to 30 seconds.
Definitely.
They're not set yet. 29 seconds left to go. Ward back to pass. Blitz coming. Pressure coming. It's a screen over the middle, and Blackwolf was there, but it was caught for a first down. Blackwolf did a good job of making the tackle at least.
Great tackling. Great recovery by Blackwolf.
Flag down in the backfield. Ooh. This could either be a roughing the passer call or it could be a hold. Let's see. Dell City's coaches are fired up, so I lost track of where the white hat is. They're backing up, though, so this is on Pryor. Is that the first penalty they've called on Pryor other than a false start?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's the second?
One,
okay.
Second one. Not a lot. Not making a lot of mistakes today.
And I don't say that to criticize the referees.
No.
I say that to talk about how disciplined Pryor is.
Right.
So this makes it 2nd and long for Pryor. 23 seconds left. Ward back to pass. He's going to heave this one to the end zone. It's man-to-man coverage. He's got a man open. It's just maybe overthrown. I think it was off the fingertips of the receiver. Walter Franklin was in coverage, and he was beat. But again, right there, when you're playing man-to-man, it's okay because you just have to keep it in front of you, Gordy.
That's it.
Right?
That's it. Really, Walter Franklin got extremely lucky that pass was just a little bit over the head of the receiver because it was just a good pass, but unfortunately, Braden Ward had to try to get rid of that ball just a little bit quicker than he probably wanted to, so he was able to miss that receiver. But lucky for Walter Franklin, that wasn't a completion because, like you said, you're playing a dangerous game when you're playing one-on-one coverage. You're on the island by yourself, so you have to be on top of your A game 100% of the time. There can't be any lapses or any laxes on defensive coverage.
17 seconds left to go in the half. It's 3rd down for Pryor. Ward back to pass again. This is a quicker pass, and it's going to be, look at this, a lateral, right. Boise State style. Walter Franklin with great discipline makes the tackle and shoves his man out of bounds. It'll be 4th down and 10. Gets the ball to the 27. 8 seconds left to go in the half. Pryor obviously going to go for it. No reason not to.
Nice creative play to try to stop that clock by, the little hitch and pitch. But great discipline, again, by Walter Franklin to stay home and make sure that player didn't go anywhere.
Now you just have to protect the end zone here. Pryor pulling out a couple tricky plays tonight.
Right.
When you have seniors, you can practice these things for 3 years.
They look well oiled, for sure.
No doubt. Back to pass again is Ward. It's a 4-man rush this time. Pressure was coming. Thrown over the middle. It's incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs with 2 seconds left to go, so Dell City will get the ball. And that, you can't overstate. That was a huge possession defensively for Dell City because if they let Pryor in the end zone, I don't want to say this game's over, but it's going to be really tough to come back.
No doubt, Colt. Dell City knew that they were going to come out having to battle this team. But to come down to the last play, when you, like I said before, you really want to create a stop against the defense, so you don't put this game out of reach. Dell City was able to do a really good job of staying locked in. A few plays that, luckily didn't go the way for Pryor that they wanted them to. We had a few open receivers, and that penalty is what really saved Dell City and able to kind of move Pryor back from putting that pressure on. But once again, great stop by the Dell City defense.
Kind of going back, that play by Walter Franklin where he was beat deep.
Right.
Got lucky on that one, but then he turns around and makes a play on a lateral play. Yeah. That not too many guys are going to be smart enough to make. So
exactly.
Kudos to you, Walter. This is just going to be one play up the middle for Sincere Overton. Picks up a few. That'll do it. We'll go to halftime. 30-21 our score. Pryor on top by 2 possessions. And, again, so many people were saying this week that Pryor's not as good as people think they are. And we heard it a lot, Gordy. And we both kind of told people that that's not the case. This Pryor team can get after it. And they've shown it tonight. Some great play calling. But the good news for Dell City is it seems like Pryor has thrown everything they can at Dell City offensively with different play calls, different looks, lots of misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dell City now, you've seen it in the first half. Maybe in the second half you can make some adjustments.
I totally agree, Cole. I think, like you said, they've thrown everything, including the kitchen sink, at the Dell City Eagles. But they've done a really good job of getting settled in. And like you said before, these teams are evenly matched. And when you're playing against a team like that, you're creating, a lot of space for each of these receivers on both ends of the ball. And like I said, now you know your opponent very well. By the time you get to this next half, it's going to be all, one against one, and to see who has the wits and who has the toughness to battle it out, to the end. Because like I said, now we're going to really start seeing a lot of fatigue. Now we're going to really start seeing a lot of these plays that these coaches can depend on that they know will work. And then you'll see a lot of phenomenal play by both of these guys on the offensive end. So I'm really excited to see this second half. Dell City has done a really good job of doing what they can to stop some of this air attack and this air raid, but the Pryor Tigers have done a phenomenal job in utilizing their players as well to be able to stop Dell City and do what they do. So like I said before, this has been a great half of football, a great battle in this district championship, and I'm just excited to get to the second half.
Well, before we do, we're going to take a break here in just a moment, but going into the locker room, I did just see something you don't see very often. Coach Jones, all over the referees.
Oh, man.
Walking into the tunnel.
Right.
You do not see that very often, not just him, his assistant coaches as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were frustrated about one call in particular that I was frustrated about in the booth.
Yeah.
That ineligible man downfield.
Right.
I think that call was completely missed. But then other than that, they've had a couple penalties holding that were questionable, they thought. And so we'd have to go back and look at the tape. But
no doubt.
Coach Jones not happy with that in the first half. So 30-21 our score at halftime. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit more about the game as we'll have a quick halftime show brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. We'll be right back. You're watching the district championship game between Dell City and Pryor on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Yeah.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us. This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you! When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it. Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
This looks like you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network, where we are at halftime. 30-21 our score. Pryor on top of Dell City. 14 minutes to go in the half, so quickly we'll do a little recap and a halftime show for you that'll be brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. The key word this week is November Rain, and that will get you 10% off all purchases. Located at 4747 Southeast 29th Street, Dell City, between Sooner and Sunny Lane. Check out their Mediterranean menu, including gyros and kebabs. Also, breakfast all day, free Thanksgiving meal from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day only. That's a heck of a deal, and that shows you what kind of person the owner at Madison's is to be able to do that for you. Quickly, I also want to tell you about Madison's Country Cooking. So, Gordy, as of late, I have become a huge fan of gyros.
Man.
And I am going to go in there this week and have me one. You know, that is something that's come later in life. When I was a kid, wasn't a big fan of them. Now I am. And I'm going to go have one and put it to the test over at Madison's Country Cooking. If you've already had one or if you plan to have one, drop it in the YouTube chat. Let me know if you like it. We'd love to hear about that from Madison's Country Cooking. Well, Gordy, this first half was entertaining,
right?
A little frustrating,
nerve-wracking,
right. And at the same time fun. So, you know, with Dell City, we've heard a lot of people talking about they don't have any competition and different things like that. And it did seem like even that tight nail-biter game against Collinsville, it seemed like Dell City was a lot better than Collinsville.
At that time, yes.
At that time.
Right.
Tonight, this does not feel like Dell City is a lot better than Pryor by any stretch. The score indicates that. And this isn't just Dell City playing bad.
No.
This is a Pryor team that's come out and hit Dell City in the mouth.
They're hungry.
They've shown them that we are an experienced football team. We're a smart football team. And we're well prepared for this game.
Right.
And they have been. Their very first touchdown of the game was a great play call. Braden Ward, the quarterback, drops back, fakes a bubble screen to the near side, then fakes a quarterback draw, and then stops again and pulls up and throws it to his running back out of the backfield for a touchdown, wide open. And then they get a quick stop. They're backed up all the way to their own 8-yard line. Dell City blitzes, and they knew the blitz was coming. They had to have. They ran a play right into it and picked up the blocks perfectly all the way down to the Dell City 1-yard line, scored on the next play, a Braden Ward touchdown. So it's just been well called, and they go for 2 every time. They've been successful, I believe, 3 out of 4 times. Is that right?
Yeah, you're right.
So it's, for Dell City now, you've seen everything that they have to offer, you would think. You've even seen a lateral Boise State style.
Boise State, and it was perfect, actually.
It was. You've seen it all, and you're still in this football game. You start with the football the second half, have a chance to go score and cut this down to 2 points, and you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself if you're able to do that.
Definitely.
If you're Coach Jones, what are you saying in the locker room?
Oh, well, knowing Coach Jones and knowing what we know about Coach Jones is the first thing he's going to say is, guys, we know who we are. the thing about Dell City, the Eagles, they have this history behind them. We've seen them do it last year. We've seen them do it the year before when they were able to make it to the championship. We know the pedigree that Dell City has, and I think Dell City knows the talent that they have. But we're facing against a hungry Pryor Tigers team who hasn't been in this position before. And that's what we talked about earlier. When you're playing against a team like this and you have the utmost confidence in the rest of your team and you have the utmost confidence in your coaching staff, you're going to get plays like this. I've seen some well-executed plays from the Pryor Tigers, and I've seen some execution by this quarterback who's able to control the talent that they have on the field. And like you said, if I'm Coach Jones, I'm telling my team, hey, let's get back to what we've done before. We know who we are. We really have to get settled in, but we can't underestimate the opponent. And like I said, I think the Pryor Tigers having such speed, I don't think there was any underestimating this talent of this team. I think the Dell City Eagles knew what Pryor, had going into this game. I think they just weren't ready for the amount of speed that Pryor had coming into this game. And when you got somebody that's fast and you're matched up, and you're standing across from a guy that's just as fast as you and that he can throw you off and kind of keep you off centered and off balance with some of these play calling, it's going to keep you on your toes a little bit. No matter how good that you think that you might be, you're going to be on your toes. And Coach Jones has to go ahead and reiterate this message to that team that, hey, we know who we are. We have to be prepared. We're going to give you guys the play calls that you need to be in position, but you guys are going to have to execute, and you're going to have to play like you mean it.
Yeah, you talked about it. It's not underestimating. Sometimes you just caught off guard, right? Like your coaches can tell you all week, this guy's fast.
No doubt.
And he'll burn you. If the blitz doesn't get there, they'll burn you. And sometimes as a player, it's not that you underestimate it. You believe your coaches, but you go out there and maybe you just give yourself an extra yard. Maybe you need to give yourself an extra 3 yards. Whatever the case may be. I know that in baseball, for example, if you're playing center field and you play guys all the time and you're like, okay, I'm starting to get a really good feel for how the ball's going to carry, where the ball is going to go. Well, then you face this one team and they can hit.
Right.
But all of a sudden, you take one step in on a line drive to center field, and all of a sudden, before you know it, the ball's over your head, and you're giving up an inside-the-park home run. So it's the same thing playing defensive back.
Perfect save.
And I think that is where Dell City's at right now. So hopefully they can adjust to the speed, bounce back in the second half. Now, offensively, Dell City's done their job. For the most part, they've done their job. They've ran the ball well. Their biggest problem is their Achilles heel. It's penalties. And that's it. And how do you, as a coach, how do you stop that? You just have to go in there in that locker room and tell these guys, hey, listen, you're beating yourselves offensively. They have not stopped us one time. You've stopped yourself.
That's perfect.
So I think that's the conversation. And for Dell City, you can't get flustered. You just got to keep playing your game. You're only down 9 points. We're acting like this is the end of the world just because we're not used to it.
And that's it. You just said it perfect. And I was thinking that just, before you said it, Colt, you're used to this. But at the same time, it's one of those things that you can't underestimate yourself, and then you can't go into this game, and I know they didn't, but you can't, like I said, go into the opponent thinking that you're not going to be tested, and that you're not going to be put in a position, like I said before, you're standing across from the other man. You know what they can do, but you can't assume anything. They've never seen a matchup like this. They've never seen a team of this speed. They've kind of been playing, other opponents that, play a different style of offense altogether. They haven't seen, a quarterback that's quite like this. And they definitely haven't seen, people like we have in Hughes and like we have in Ballou, as well. These guys, like I said, have a tremendous amount of talent. And when you're playing against, an unknown opponent like that, you see a lot of film, but it's not, anything like the real thing. So when you kind of matching up these guys, from these guys, like we said before, in real life, there's no underestimation. It's just like I said before, these guys are kind of caught off guard by the amount of talent. And when you really see it in real life, that's one of those things that, like I said before, you have to have that mentality that now I'm at war. Now I am in a one-on-one battle, with these individuals. And that's the thing that is going to set the men away from the boys.
No doubt. Well, Gordy, that's our halftime show for tonight. Folks, we've had a lot of viewers tonight, and we want to say thank you for tuning in and let you know there are multiple ways for you to watch this game. If you're just sitting there watching it on your phone, you can also get on your TV. If you have a Roku device, an Apple TV, I don't know what other kinds there is, but I'm sure there's more.
Oh, yeah.
You can find it. If you just download the Oklahoma Sports Network app, go to the Dell City channel, the game will pop right up for you. You can watch it there on your big screen. That is one way to do it. Sometimes our games will be on Facebook. Ours is not tonight. We thought it was going to be, but it is not. That's okay. There's so many different ways to watch it. You can also find us just on YouTube, and a lot of people do that. My dad does that. So the cool thing about YouTube is you can actually chat in there, and I read it. I've already been reading your comments in there, folks, and some of you guys frustrated, offering support and complaining. which is fair. Not in bad ways. Everyone's been positive and fun.
Right.
But we love it. We like to engage with you.
No
and
doubt.
So be sure to keep doing that if you're doing it. We're going to take a break. We will come back at the start of the second half. We got about 6 minutes left to go till then. Looks like the Pryor band still has to play too, so that could hold us up just a little bit. 30-21 our score. Pryor on top of this district championship game over the Eagles on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you. When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it. Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you! If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Just about time for the second half. The clock, they always add a couple minutes after the initial clock, let the guys get loose a little bit. 30-21 our score, Pryor on top, and like we talked about at the half, been a fun one. We've enjoyed it, but Dell City defensively just have to figure a couple things out. Offensively, more just have to get out of your own way and quit getting penalties. So we'll see if they can do it. This second half is going to be brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you. One in Choctaw at 405-281-6700. In Dell City at 405-670-3665. I tell people all the time, It does not cost anything to look. So if you give Bobby Lewis Insurance a call,
that's right.
Just compare numbers. See if he can save you money. If he can save you money, why wouldn't you? So you might as well just give him a call. He might be able to help you out. Well, Gordy, let's see what we got. Let's see. This is where you find out what your team is made from. They've done it once against Collinsville. They found themselves in a hole in the second half, fought their way back, found a way to win. Can they do it again tonight?
They can do it. They're definitely capable, and we know that. We've seen Dell City do this again and again. They're kind of the comeback kids, so to speak, as far as being able to capitalize on the offensive end after the defense, gives up these points. And Dell City, like I said before, they have so many weapons that they can trust that each one of the guys that they have on this, field can get the job done. They're just going to have to execute, and we already know that about the Pryor Tigers as well. So loaded up on the offense and the defensive end. They know what they can do as well. So both these, teams are just going to have to buckle down, and it's like I said before, Dell City has been caught off guard a little bit with the amount of talent that Pryor has been able to possess. So, like I said, they're just going to have to lock in. They're able to get the ball first, so they're going to have to do everything they can to use this possession to try to put points on the board.
Spencer Kaiser has hit touchbacks almost every single time. So if you're Dell City, be smart. Don't not get caught off guard here. They will not. This will be a booted kick just into the end zone, barely. Josiah Chester wanted it.
He wanted it.
Didn't get it. Another touchback. Well done by Spencer. Kyson Spencer. I just combined his first name.
Kaiser.
So Dell City's offense, if they're able to score here, everything feels pretty good. You're only down 2 points. You would imagine your defense can make some adjustments, but maybe Pryor's defense can make some adjustments. Let's see what Dell City decides to do offensively to start things. Overton going to take the snap and immediately take off running. He is being grabbed around the neck. He's able to drag a tackler past the 25 up to the 27-yard line. A good pickup, a 7. Tough run from Overton. Boy, he was being clawed, scratched, and grabbed at every angle there.
Just a nice, tough run, and just a good amount of push by the offensive line to kind of get Sincere the amount of yards almost to the first down marker.
Hand off to Rickland Holmes. Holmes stiff-arming one tackler, and he has to just try to plunge his way forward to maybe pick up as much as he can. I don't think he picked up anything, maybe half a yard if that. Brings up 3rd and short for Dell City.
Rickland's definitely going to need some help from this offensive line on this one. Trying to go along with these slant blocks, but when you go along with these slant blocks and you got 3 men coming downhill, you really got to, like I said before, in the first half, you got to really kind of stay in front of the defensive line as best as you can. That way you give Rickland Holmes an opportunity to kind of break into that.
2 receivers to each side for Sincere. Rickland Holmes in the backfield with him. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Back to pass is Overton. Wide open man, it's Walter Franklin. Catch made. Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Move the sticks. First down, Eagles.
Nice pitch. Nice catch on that one.
To this point, Sincere has played his best game of the year tonight by far.
I agree.
This is the Sincere Overton that we all were looking forward to and expected. Not to say he hasn't been good this season, but tonight he has really answered the bell for Dell City.
Right. He's been decisive. Like I said, sometimes you can kind of get drawn and, locked in on certain receivers, but Sincere has been able to go with his first read and get that ball out quickly like he needs to.
Handoff, Blackwolf. Blackwolf hits a hole, cuts back, flag down as Blackwolf breaks free to the 50, 45, 40, 35, caught from behind and drags a tackler to the 26, and again the referees are going to call a hold. Coach Jones not happy at all about the call. That's going to negate a huge play for the Eagles. They had the ball at the 36. It'll mark them back all the way to the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 20.
Oh, it's just a killer, unfortunately. That's one that I know for a fact that Caleb Blackwolf would like to have back on that one.
Well, and the hold happened way behind the play, I think, Gordy, and that's what makes this more frustrating. The player that was held was not going to make the tackle.
Right.
So if you're the lineman, you got to let it go. You can't do that. And again, Dell City stops themselves. That's been the difference in the ballgame so far.
Right. Every time, they take 2 steps forward. They're just taking 1 step back. Another
flag. This time they're going to call offsides on Pryor, lined up in the neutral zone. Well, that helps.
Lucky for Dell City, able to make some of those yards back.
Boy, the Pryor numbers. They didn't think these jerseys through.
Just a little bit difficult to see from the amount of distance that we are. This is the wrong day to forget my glasses, I'll tell you that.
Luckily, Pryor has their own broadcast crew, so we don't probably have a lot of Pryor fans watching because we're guessing on the names half the time. Not supposed to admit that, but
they look sweet, but, you just can't see the numbers.
1st and 15 for the Eagles. Overton back to pass, pumps. Now decides he's going to take off and run. He's tripped up after a short gain. Got it up to the 35-yard line just about. Brings up 2nd and 11 for the Eagles. I think that was the smart decision by Sincere.
Right. Just a small window. It's just a super small window of opportunity to kind of get that ball out to maybe Chester. But like I said, on those crossing routes, it's just kind of hard to see, and you really don't want to put the ball in the air to try to put it up for grabs.
You can almost tell the way Pryor's playing. They're going to make Sincere make big-time throws.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to let him use his legs and run.
Definitely.
They're dropping back, and then they're running forward very quickly when he decides to tuck it. Back to pass again. This is a quick pass out here to Rickland Holmes, and a good tackle, a low tackle, as he'll just get past the initial line of scrimmage, makes it 3rd and 9.
Like you said, they're just being a really disciplined football team on the defensive end. The Pryor Tigers are, like you said, they're staying home. They're not over pursuing. They're letting the play develop, and they're actually watching the gentleman that they're supposed to, hold on that one. Same one on this play. They're not really giving up any yards to the outside, keeping a good eye on the quarterback, and just like I said, being very disciplined.
That play was designed to be quick, but boy, Gordy, if you hold that ball a little longer and kind of deceive downfield a little bit, the way they're backing up, that would have probably been a free 10 yards.
We've had a lot of plays like that today.
Overton going to throw it deep, man-to-man coverage, looking for Chester. Chester not going to be able to get there. In fact, he was trying to play defense as Pryor, the Pryor defender, was back in coverage, almost intercepted. It'll fall incomplete. Dell City now has to punt. The flag stalls another drive.
Yeah, very lucky on that one, Sincere Overton was. That's one of those balls that you put in harm's way. Luckily, the defensive back was dropping that one, but like I said, Sincere Overton kind of locked in on that receiver on the outside and almost put the ball right in the other team's hands for the turnover.
Seeing what I'm seeing in the back end right now, Gordy, the middle of the field, if you run a cross route across the middle, it's going to be wide open.
It's open.
Pryor is dropping straight back. Rickland Holmes will punt it away. It's a line drive kick that will be fair caught at the 29-yard line. Pryor will take over there. So the Eagles, again, back against the wall. Defensively, they have to have a stop.
Right. This is a moment. This is a huge moment of the game. This is a game that, each possession is going to matter, especially when it comes to turnover on downs, when it comes to penalties that'll just stop you from scoring. Every possession is going to count, especially this half. Everything is going to be important. Dell City really has to dig deep and do what they can to stop the Pryor Tigers from getting this ball in the end zone on this drive.
If Pryor is able to score here and get another 2-point conversion, it will be a 3-possession game at 17.
Right.
The way this game has gone, that seems nearly impossible to come back from. Dell City's defense needs a stop. Handoff up the middle. Good gain. Black Wolf has to make the tackle. Flag down. The back judge threw it all the way behind the play.
Just curious to see what this call is.
This might be potentially a chop block. Nope, an illegal substitution on Dell City. Trying to count the players. They have 12 players on the field.
They do.
So, got it. Am I wrong? Did I just miscount? They still have 12 players on the field.
There goes the extra.
Oh, jeez. That's not good.
That's not good.
Good call from the back judge. Good looking out. So it's first down for the Tigers. Moves it to the 44. 8:30 left to go in quarter number 3. 9-point game.
Hopefully they got it figured out now. Let's see.
Dell City with a 4-man front defensively. Man in motion out of the backfield. Going to be another handoff up the middle. Untouched all the way past the 40. 35. Rickland Holmes from behind has to drag him down at the 28-yard line. Another big gain for the guy who's already had a big game. It's Carson Hughes.
Carson Hughes just being so patient on the offensive end, letting that play develop, finding that hole, able to hit that hole just as quickly. Offensive line doing a really good job of spreading out, giving them that amount of yards.
Another handoff up the middle. This time, not nearly as much going for. Progress going to be stopped. Gordy, I got to tell you, the one thing I did underestimate Pryor's run game. I didn't think they'd run the football the way they have. But when you throw the ball as successfully as they have, it opens things up in the run game.
Well, they have a spread offense, and they have such a, plethora of receivers, and we talked about that before. They've been, airing it out, especially like these last few games, especially against some of the opponents that they had. They hadn't really had to run the ball that much, but when you got such a talented guy like Carson Hughes, you can put the ball in this young man's hand, and you can see the patience that he's using, and the offensive line is doing a really good job, or have been doing a really good job until that stop.
Great play from Draquan Wright. He came out and looked like a raging bull making that tackle. Huge loss on the play. It'll be 3rd and 11 now for Pryor, backed up to their the Eagle 27-yard line.
Number 6 has had himself a great game today as well. I love the pursuit that him and Jalen Andrews, of course, these guys have just done a really good job of doing what they can to help this team out.
Probably 2 plays to pick this up if you're Pryor. You can run whatever you want on this play with it being 3rd and 11. They're going to pass it, back to pass. Ward throws to the near sideline. Pass interference going to be called.
That was an uncatchable ball. That really shouldn't have been a flag. I think the receiver, slipped a little bit before that ball was even thrown. So that's a tough one. That's a super tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it was Walter Franklin who they got there, and that's a huge call because it gives them a first down.
Right.
They were just trying to get whatever they could. Boy, I don't know about that call either. That could have gone either way.
That's tough. That was tough because, like I said, that receiver looked like he more kind of slipped, out of that route more than Chester may have had not even a hand on him. I'm sorry, Franklin.
Watching the replay here. Probably, I mean, I guess you could
push.
Probably pushed him in the back a little bit.
Right.
That's a killer of a call. First down in the red zone is Pryor. Handoff again up the middle. This one is almost stopped, but the second effort, he gets past the line, goes inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Looked like Devin Joseph had that play completely sniffed out, and then he was able to let Hughes get free and pick up a few yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 now. Dell City really on their heels.
Decided to go with the no huddle here, trying to keep the Dell City defense off.
Hughes again, this time no gain. Rickland Holmes on the tackle. It's a loss of yards back to the 11-yard line. It's 3rd down. Huge play for the Eagles now.
And that's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it. When a team decides to go no huddle like that, you got to get yourself set and ready because, of course, they're going to try to push it down your throat just as much as they can.
Call it 3rd and 7. Pryor needs to get the ball to the Eagle 4. 15 seconds on the play clock for Pryor, taking their time getting this call in. 5:50 to go in the third quarter. Running back in motion. Ward back to pass. Looking. Now he's going to take off and run. He's got an alley. He puts on a move, and he's going to score. Into the end zone for a touchdown, and a big one at that. Big-time move from Braden Ward. If you could hear this crowd, folks, they're all on their feet. They're giving it up to their Tigers, deservingly so. These guys have played a big-time game tonight.
Just a phenomenal job by Braden Ward on that one to kind of hesitate and give himself, that patience to kind of feel that cushion that he had. And as soon as he seen that open, line in the opening in the offensive line, he was able to break out for the touchdown. But just great patience shown by Ward. Dell City deciding to go again with that man coverage, and this allows, Braden Ward to kind of have his way and make his way to the end zone.
Pryor will attempt their first extra point of the night. Kick is up. Boy, it's drilled. Makes you wonder why they don't kick more.
Right.
That looks like a really good kick. 37-21 our score. Pryor on top by 16. Still a 2-possession game, but a tough 2-possession game at that. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. It's another touchback. Booming kick. Again, it's 37-21. Dell City has a lot of ground to make up. They've done it before. They did it against Collinsville, but this is not Collinsville. This is a darn good Pryor football team, folks.
Right.
And I see some of you on the group chat pulling on the Eagles here. Some of you not happy with that pass interference call. Gordy and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. It was bang-bang. Not that I want to criticize the referees on that. It was definitely a bang-bang call. But the way this game has gone, you've not really whenever you call something like that, that kind of shows that you're not going to let a lock go the rest of the way.
Very true.
Dell City going to run trips to the near side. Overton with Rickland Holmes in the backfield with him, gets it out to Chester. Chester on a bubble screen, cuts back, gets a block, and he picks up a few yards past the, we'll call it the 24-yard line. Wound up picking up 4.
Nice little flat bubble screen. Just try to get something going for Dell City. This is a possession that we said the last time that's super important, and it's something that we know that they're going to have to try to capitalize on. But, like I said, get Sincere Overton comfortable, letting that ball go, getting out to a ball carrier that you know is going to get you some yards. Dell City has, something going this first possession.
In fact, is this Simmons at quarterback? I don't know. I think they may have made a switch here. This looks like Simmons. Dell City going to take a timeout. Boy, I don't like that. It is Simmons at quarterback. Dell City takes a timeout, already trailing by 16 with 4:55 left to go in the quarter. We'll be right back. You're watching Eagle Football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers. If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us. This is why you need our number in your phone.
This could be you! When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Back with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 4:55 left to go in quarter number 3. Dell City trails by 16. Just took their first time out. They have it 2nd and 5 at their own 24-yard line. Need to get the ball to the 30. We'll actually call it 2nd and 6, excuse me. Simmons in the game at quarterback. He's going to look to pass. He's going to throw a high pass well over the head of Nicholas Holmes. Boy, from our angle, we're so high up. I actually thought he was throwing it to the sideline, and that ball was just way off target for Nicholas Holmes.
You could actually tell the way Caleb Blackwolf came out of that route that Simmons had his eyes just locked right on that receiver, so he tried to get it over the top. And that's just something in a game like this you just can't do. There's no predicting plays, and especially when we're playing man-on-man coverage, you don't want to get locked in on a certain receiver, and that's how turnovers occur. And like I said before, these coaches, we can't get stagnant. There's a long way to go in the game. Don't put your team in a difficult situation that they're going to have to dig themselves out of.
Simmons again comes off the bench cold, has to make some plays. That's tough on a young man. He's going to make a throw. This time it's on a rope, gets it to Nicholas Holmes, and Nicholas Holmes is off and running. He's loose. Nicholas Holmes to the 40, 35-30. One man chasing him from behind. He won't catch him. Say goodnight to it. Touchdown, Nicholas Holmes. A huge response for the Eagles.
Great job. Great job.
Just when you count the Eagles out, they make you pay. And Nicholas Holmes is the one who makes them pay. Davion Simmons comes off the bench cold, misses a throw, and then throws a perfect dart to Nicholas Holmes for the touchdown. And I think Dell City, do you go for 2? I would imagine so.
This would be the time to do it, Colt. This would definitely be the time to do it. But once again, like you say, great job by Simmons to get settled in. Great route by Holmes as well. Able to break out and kind of change the character of this game, to make it just a little bit closer. So now we got us a game, that is more equipped for Dell City to take advantage of.
Simmons still in the game. I kind of thought they might put Overton in here for the 2-point try. Rickland Holmes in the backfield. Bringing a man in motion from left to right. Back to pass to Simmons. Simmons going to try to tuck and run. Simmons gets in. It's a one-possession game. How about Davion Simmons coming in cold and making a couple big plays?
Making a smart decision to get his, run right up the middle. Breaking a couple of tackles as well, but just a good job by this guy to come in, like you say, just straight cold off the bench, and get himself into the end zone and put the team right back in this ball game.
So Dell City back in it. That touchdown brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. The key word this week is November Rain. A little shout out to Guns N' Roses. That'll get you 10% off all purchases. Located at 4747 Southeast 29th Street. Remember, they have a Mediterranean menu you got to check out. Gyros and kebabs. Also, breakfast all day. And on Thanksgiving, they're going to give you a free meal from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Madison's Country Cooking. Dell City will be kicking off on your screen from left to right. Actually, I think that's, left to right. Boy, the team's confused me for a moment there. It will be.
What side.
It'll be from left to right. This kickoff brought to you by the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. If you're a small business or just a local business in Dell City in general, go talk to Josh over at the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. We've met Josh multiple times. Great guy.
Great guy.
About as likable as it gets. We appreciate the sponsorship from Dell City Chamber of Commerce. That'll get the Dell City fans at home fired up, get you off your couch a little bit. It's an 8-point game. This kickoff is going to bounce and be fielded at the 5-yard line. Dell City needs to get downhill to cover this kick, and they do. Boy, big hold. Finally, referees throw the flag. I didn't think they'd throw it. They finally did, right in front of him at the 28-yard line. That one was pretty clear. Yeah, that was player. I'm not sure which number it was, but somebody for Dell City was being rode like Seabiscuit there.
But now we got us a game. I mean, that's the thing about Dell City. You know, they're never out of it, and that's a good thing. And, of course, you know, we know the talent they have on both sides of the ball. Dell City is really going to have to do what they can on this possession to try to get the ball out of Pryor's hands.
Boy, can this Eagle defense get a stop? 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to go. Anytime we question a timeout that Dell City makes, they typically make somebody pay. A big timeout that, boy, if you didn't score on that last possession, pretty much puts this game not away, but makes it really tough. The timeout pays off. It's 8-point game again for Dell City. 4-man front for the Eagles. Playing off on the receiver is going to be a handoff to Hughes. Hughes has a hole. Gets by the 24-yard line, gain of 4. Pretty good pickup on first down.
Another good read option.
The Eagle defensive line did such a good job in the first half controlling the run, other than a couple plays. Here in the second half, Pryor having their way in the run game.
Right. Because, you know, they're showing such patience in the backfield, you know, between this quarterback and between Hughes as well. Showing a lot of patience, you know, allowing Dell City to kind of get locked up by their offensive line and letting them do their job. And once that is locked up, they're actually able to kind of pursue and do a little bit better by grinding it out right up the middle.
That was a quarterback run, 2 yards short of the first down. Actually going to go ahead and give it a yard short of the first down. Dell City just a little bit delayed reaction on that play, and it's because they have hurt them in the passing game, and that's why that quarterback draw is so successful.
Definitely.
You could kind of see it coming. Rickland wanted to go ahead and jump on it earlier, but he knew if he did, it left him exposed.
Definitely.
Another run up the middle. This time, Dell City initially stuffed it. The second effort gets the first down. How about that for Braden Ward?
Devin Joseph and the middle crew is just really doing all they can to try to stop these guys from making these short distance amounts, you know, to get these first downs. But like you said, Ward is just showing such an incredible amount of patience, as allowing, you know, these guys to kind of get to their positions and then find these holes, you know, to kind of give these guys the first down.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's an 8-point game. Pryor leads. Dell City with a 4-man front. 1st and 10. Going to be a quick pass out to the edge, and it's going to just get by Caleb Blackwolf for a pickup of about 5. Another good pickup on first down. That has been a really important part of what Pryor has done tonight. They have had positive plays on first down, Gordy.
Positive and consistent.
Trips to the far side, one receiver to the near side. Hughes in the backfield with Braden Ward. Ward going to hand it to Hughes. Braden Ward kept it, fooled me. Slides and takes a hit, and a flag going to come in. Running between the tackles, decides to slide. It was a late slide, and it's going to get a 15-yard penalty added on to the end of the run.
Right. It was a great read by the quarterback as well, so he's able to kind of break free, and he was already at that first down when he's able to slide. Unfortunately for Dell City with the late hit, but just another positive play for the Pryor Tigers. Like you said before, these guys are just really using a lot of consistency, and they're kind of, you can tell the offensive coordinator is doing a really great job of kind of recognizing these defense when they're out of these positions, calling the right plays at the right moments.
Boy, I don't know what a defender's supposed to do there. I understand you have to protect the player, but man, that makes it really tough. You talk about bang, bang between the tackles. You're supposed to let the guy slide. I understand. That's the new age of football. Back to pass is Braden Ward. Had time, looks deep, and it's dropped.
Great defense.
Boy, triple coverage out there, Gordy, and I just thought that I thought the Eagles might pick that one off. Instead, nobody was looking for the ball. It was almost caught.
That's the truth. Just didn't get that head turned around quick enough. Ward got that ball out really quickly on that one. I was kind of surprised he decided to go along with that read because, like you say, they had triple coverage on that side, but had the defense able to get that head around, they might have had a pick that was, able to go all the way back to the house.
2nd and 10, first time in a while. It seems like Pryor doesn't get a positive play on first down. Handoff to Hughes. Well, doesn't matter. Hughes has the first down and more to the 30. Has a blocker in front of him to the 20. 15, 10, 5. Hughes fumbled the football. He fumbled the football and it went out of the back of the end zone. The referees have not made a signal yet, but he definitely fumbled, Gordy. And if that's a fumble, it went out of the back of the end zone, and that's Dell City football.
Let's see if they decide to call him down at the 1-yard line because he did let that ball go as he was landing to the ground.
That ball was definitely out. It's a touchback. The Dell City Eagles catch a huge break. Their first break of the night. They finally caught one. How about that?
And that's why you don't give up. That is the main reason why you don't give up on a play. He was able to make just such a phenomenal, tough run on that one. But just, unfortunately for him, not able to hold on to that ball. But great job by Dell City to keep them, feet on the ground, keep grinding, able to come up with that turnover.
That was the correct call.
Right.
That was the correct call. Pryor does not like it. That's the first call the whole night that's gone against him, and you don't like it. You've gotten every call tonight, Coach. Now you've got your crowd going. Good job. Dell City football at the 20-yard line. Minute 50 left to go in quarter number 3.
I think I seen a kid down there shaking his fist.
Handoff to Rickland Holmes. Holmes, look at these moves. Rickland Holmes did a lot of dancing to get really not much of anywhere. Going to be no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10. You know what, though, Gordy? That play woke up this crowd even more.
Right.
It brought out the angry fan in them. And
oh, man, I love it.
I'm luckily in this closed-off booth. They couldn't hear what I was saying because if not, I'd be thrown off the balcony probably.
Oh, my goodness. But great call on that one as far as Colt. But, I mean, that's why you play the game, and that's why I love this game so much. Small plays like that change the entire momentum of a championship game for sure.
Simmons, 2 receivers to each side of him. Claps his hands, takes the snap. Back to pass to Simmons. Looking, it's his first look. It's caught. Boy, closing in quickly was the safety. It's going to be a pickup of about 4 up to the 24-yard line. I thought for a moment that was going to be picked and run the other way. Nicholas Holmes instead makes the catch.
It was a long pass. I mean, just getting that ball across the field like that, and it was in the air for quite a long time. Luckily for Dell City, they were able to make that completion, but that's one of those plays that Pryor, it's a win-win for Pryor. You're giving them these, smaller routes. That's almost like a stop to them. You're just kind of giving them that momentum. If they can, stop you on this next possession, Dell City's going to have to give it up, so they're really going to have to capitalize here.
Simmons to pass. Throws over the middle. Josiah Chester caught. Chester has the first down to the 42-yard line. Great pass, great catch. Dell City moving the chains.
Good job. When you see Josiah Chester is hype coming across the middle, and great catch and great throw by the quarterback as well. Dell City's doing what they have to do, keeping that ball moving.
Boy, Simmons has made some throws tonight as well. Both quarterbacks have had their moments.
Right. When they decided to go along with the change, I imagine it was just to kind of get the guy a little bit more comfortable and settled.
Handoff to Rickland Holmes. Good job defensively by Pryor. Pick up a 3.
Rickland Holmes just a little bit frustrated on that one. And I think he's seen the same thing we've seen from up here in the booth. Had they been able to hold those 2 blocks up, Rickland Holmes could have been to the house.
Coach Jones ripping his offensive line right now. Wants more out of them. Trying to motivate them. That's the end of the third quarter. Dell City has the football, trailing by 8. District championship on the line. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
2nd and 7 here for Dell City as we start the fourth quarter. Dell City trailing by 8. Simmons in at quarterback, trips to the far side. Snap back, looking for a long ball to Black Wolf. He makes the catch, takes the hit, and holds on at the 25-yard line. Simmons has come in looking like Aaron Rodgers in his prime.
Right, making the great decision. I mean, making a great read. You can see Simmons as he scanned the ball field, finding the proper receiver, finding Black Wolf right on center and on point, able to get that ball straight to him for the Dell City first down, putting the team in great position.
Overton comes back into the ball game now. You would anticipate some kind of run play from the Eagles. Both running backs in the backfield. Overton going to have them both blocking for him as he takes off, running to the right. Gets a block, stays on his feet past the 20, extends forward close to the first down marker, but the referee says his knee was down well short of that. They'll mark him at the 19, needed the 16. So a pickup of 7 on first down. That's the key to success, getting good plays, positive yards on first down. That's what Pryor's done. Dell City starting to get the hang of it a little bit.
That's right. Good push by the offensive line as well to try to get Overton over to that corner and just keep those legs pumping, like you say, closer and closer to the first down.
Same formation. Black Wolf and Holmes in the backfield with Sincere. Sincere takes the snap. This time he's going to throw. Has a man open into the end zone. Josiah Chester loses control of it at the last moment. Almost a Des Bryant-style touchdown catch with strong hands, but it was knocked out at the last possible moment. Good play call. 3rd down and 3 for Dell City.
Good play call. I think the quarterback would like to get that ball just a little bit higher so he can kind of point that ball at its highest point. Yeah. But he tried to do the best that he can, but unfortunately those defensive backs were kind of right in the mix of that, able to knock that ball out of his hands.
You've got 2 plays to pick this up if you're Dell City. I think you probably run it here to see what you can get. It's exactly what they'll do. Overton keeps it running left. Has the first down and more. 10, 5, Sincere! Touchdown, Dell City! They're a 2-point conversion away from tying this baby up with 10:39 left to go.
What a great, hard-nosed, tough run by Sincere Overton, and even better job of blocking by the running back as well as the offensive line. These guys are right back in the game, and this is what we've been waiting for, Colt. Dell City, they don't give up, and they're tough. But Pryor, they had them right where they wanted to in the beginning. Luckily, they were able to kind of get that turnover and capitalize off it. So that's exactly what they need.
I'm glad there's not a camera on me. I was trying to see around this pole that's in front of me, Gordy, and as I did that, I tripped on something and almost ended up in our producer's lap.
Jacoby, he got you.
There was a timeout called. I didn't see by who. Did you? It's Dell City. That's their second timeout of the game. That could be huge. We're going to stay here because I don't want to risk missing this play. It's an important one.
But this is huge. This is a huge part of the game, and thank goodness we're getting our money's worth today.
Well worth the trip. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
Still a lot of time left in this game, too.
So much time.
There's enough time the way this game has gone for both teams to get 3 more possessions. 10:39 to go. 37-35. Pryor on top by 2. Dell City getting ready to try for a 2-point conversion to tie this game up. And I got to tell you, Gordy, there was a part of me when Pryor went up by 16, I thought, oh no. I don't know. But then there was also a part of me in my mind that was thinking, well, they're kicking the extra point. This is still a 2-possession game.
Right.
Had they gone for 2 and made it a 3-possession game, maybe something different.
Right.
But now you get this 2-point conversion. We're tied and game on.
Things can change very quickly in a game like this, especially when you got 2 high-powered offenses and, a set of people that can just do things so quickly. You can change the score just that fast. So Dell City now has the momentum, and we'll see what they can do on this 2-point conversion.
It's Overton in at quarterback. He's got Holmes and Black Wolf with him. Going to be the same play. Overton to the right, trying to fight his way in. I don't think he got there. I think he's just short. Pryor's going to hold on to the lead for now. 37-35 our score. Boy, Dell City had a big opportunity there, but it's not the end of the world.
They're still in it to win it. Just really not, completely satisfied with the call. That this worked to their advantage, throughout the game. So I imagine the coaches, are being really sure of themselves when they make that play call. But a call like that is just you really got to have all the blocking that you can by the offensive line, and they just didn't get that there.
Old school football coaches are saying right now you don't go for 2 until you have to.
Right.
If you kick both those extra points, it's a 1-point game right now. Well, no, it's not. It's still 37-35. But right there, if you kick the extra point, it's 37-36.
You're a little bit closer.
And what happens is, Gordy, if Pryor's able to go score a touchdown here, they're going to go back up by 2 possessions.
Exactly.
And there's not going to probably be a ton of time left. So that's the only thing. If you're Dell City, that was the risk you were willing to take there to try to tie up the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now your defense has to try to bail you out one more time.
Exactly. I'm a fan of going it for 2, every once in a while. But like you say, absolutely when I have to do it. And that's the thing. Like if you get a good kicker, you have a good kicker, go ahead and let the kicker, get you those points, and put your team in the best position to stay as close as possible. But like you say, I think the Dell City was trying to see what they could do to see if they could try to tie this ball game up. But a lot of time left, only down by 2. If they can do what they can do on this position, stop Pryor from making a score, Dell City is right back in this ball game.
Dell City Chamber of Commerce kickoff. Line drive kick that's muffed at the 20. Having trouble getting on it is Pryor, finally able to. And they'll be down at the 30-yard line. So Dell City's defense will pick up there. That kick brought to you by the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. Like I said, that last touchdown brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. November rain is the key word. Use that anytime this week. Get 10% off your purchase at Madison's Country Cooking in Dell City.
And when you go to Madison's, you got to say November rain in your greatest Axl Rose voice as well.
I didn't, I'll be honest, Gordy. I'm impressed that you know more about Guns N' Roses than I do.
Hey, man, I love some rock, especially the classics. Can't beat that.
I like it. That's great. Back to passes Ward. Ward was blitzed, and Dell City picked it up. This pass is underthrown, almost picked off by Walter Franklin. Knocked incomplete. Best coverage of the night for Dell City.
Looks like Walter Franklin learned a little bit of something that first half as far as one-on-one coverage goes, because he was in the perfect position to stop that score. Had he had not had the position that he had, that was a touchdown to the house.
Walter Franklin's had a big night defensively tonight.
No doubt.
Saved, old phrase, he saved the bacon of the Eagles a couple times this evening. Look at this formation. Trips to the near side. Ward, that's all show. He's going to take off running. He's got a ton of room into the 50, 45-40, 35-30. Caleb Blackwolf on the chase. Can Blackwolf catch him? He cannot. Touchdown Pryor. Huge response from the Tigers.
Just caught him off guard and just showing tremendous speed as well. Braden Ward just showing us everything that he can do today. Not only is he a great passer, but this kid can run, and he's high-stepping all the way to the end zone, catching the Dell City Eagle defense off guard.
Right there again, they just showed that trips look to the near side. Dell City was trying to pay so much attention to getting guys in coverage out there, and it just left the middle wide open and exposed.
And that's one thing I learned about watching film from the Pryor Tigers. They do run a lot of these disguised plays, especially these trips, and especially when they have them stacked. They like to run a lot of misdirection where it's kind of drawing the team off. Hey, like, you look over here, we're going to run it over there. Great job by the Pryor Tigers to use that to their advantage.
Dell City jumped off sides. Kick was perfectly good, but it's going to be a retry. They'll have to kick it again. Now if you're Pryor, if you're Pryor, what do you do here? Do you accept the penalty and go half the distance and go for 2? Makes it a 10-point game if you get it.
Definitely they want to go for 2 because, this putting this game further and further out of reach if they can capitalize on this 2-point conversion.
I think they made the right.
Go ahead and.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice. You just want to get up 2 possessions.
Right. They're going to go ahead and kick it here.
This extra point is big because it'll put Pryor up by 9. 10 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Dell City only has 1 timeout. That could become a problem as well. That should have been a false start. They got it. That'll back them up 5 yards. Probably won't make much of a difference the way Kaizen Spencer has been kicking the football tonight. I keep wanting to call him Spencer Kaiser. It's Kaizen Spencer.
Still a cool name regardless. Backwards or forward.
If you're Dell City, you've got to sell out to try to block this.
Definitely. And
they have blocked a couple, but this is a tough kid to block because he can really kick it.
They got to be careful and watch for the fake on these. Pryor's quick, and they're witty. Dell Cities tend to over-pursue sometimes.
Snap down. Kick is up. Kick is good. Boy, big-time extra point. They needed it. 44-35. Pryor back up by 9. Dell City has more work to do on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 10 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. 44-35. Pryor back up by 9. Makes going for 2 by Dell City. If you make it, it's all good and well. But if you don't, that's when you start to question it. But you still had to go for 2 at some point. So now you know what you need. You got to have 2 scores and a stop. It's a touchback again. Dell City will take the football up to the 20. Yet again, this second half brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you, one in Choctaw and one in Dell City. Doesn't cost anything to look. Give Bobby Lewis a call and see if he can save you some money on your insurance rates. Bobby's a good guy. I know a lot of people talk very highly about Bobby Lewis.
Definitely.
Dell City's offense in a must-score situation here. 1 timeout left, 10 minutes left to go in the game. Overton back in at quarterback. He's going to air one out on the first play. Going deep, and it is almost intercepted. And a late flag going to come in. Going to get pass interference. They were looking for Chester. Coach Cox loves the call. Look at the Pryor sideline going nuts. I don't know about that one, Gordy.
Well, I thought I seen Chester, kind of do a little bit of a little hesitation route. And I think as he stopped and hesitated just a little bit, the defensive back grabbed a hold of that jersey, causing that pass interference. The crowd might not like it, but at the same time, you can't touch and grab the receivers. That's one of those ones that'll happen every time.
Yeah.
And I see that same kid down there shaking his fist. He's angry. He's upset.
I don't know about that call. We'll take it.
Right, we'll take it.
1st and 10 to the 35. Handoff Black Wolf. Black Wolf runs right. Has a pretty good hole up to the 40. Good run. Pick up a 5 on 1st down.
Nice, tough, hard-nosed run by Caleb Black Wolf. Offensive line is just really going to have to do what they can do to help this team out, and that's going to be the thing. We're at the end of the game, and we're at the point of the game to where we're going to have to dig deep and be tough, and the offensive line is the pinnacle of that. They're going to have to do everything they can to give these guys the best shot at winning this ball game.
I think you've got to start getting a little bit of tempo going offensively with only 1 timeout.
No doubt.
Still a lot of time, but with 1 timeout, that changes things. Overton again back to pass. Looking, had a man open, didn't throw it. Now he's looking, running, throws it up in the air to Black Wolf. What a throw! Black Wolf stays on his feet and stays in bounds. Cuts back to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Black Wolf, touchdown, Dell City. Another flag is down. A flag is down back at the 43, and it's on Dell City. That's going to be another ineligible player downfield. And, Gordy, you know what? I think that one is the right call.
You're correct on that one. Unfortunate for Dell City. This is the one that Rickland Holmes is just frustrated with himself about because he felt himself, he was in the right position. I think they just had another player that wasn't really supposed to be downfield at that particular moment. And it was just a great read by the quarterback and even better run by Caleb Black Wolf. Now it has to come back. This is just one of those things that Dell City just cannot have. This is too late into the season to be shooting yourself in the foot like this, and it's just doing nothing but hurting your team on the back end. We're going to have to clean that up.
Yeah, they actually called that on the center. That's Arnico Daniels, who was downfield. They could have had their pick. There was 3 Eagles downfield on that one.
And they had, offensive line did such a great job on that possession by, holding up, long enough to get that ball out.
So now it's 2nd down and 10, 9:20 left to go in the game. Dell City's got to do it again. Overton back to pass. Feels pressure, has to throw over the middle to Black Wolf. Black Wolf catches it. Unbelievable play by Black Wolf. Gets up the middle again. First down, Eagles. Moves the chain to the 46.
This kid knows how to find the line of scrimmage, and he knows how to find the marker of the first down. Caleb Black Wolf is doing everything that he can to keep Dell City in this ball game. Just blood and guts, and I love the toughness that he's shown.
Now, if you're Pryor defensively, you almost feel like you should probably go 3 high. Make sure you keep things in front of you. Try to run as much clock as possible. With Dell City only having 1 timeout, and Dell City's defense has had a lot of trouble stopping Pryor, you almost feel like you want to try to do everything you can. That's exactly what they're doing. 3 high with a flag coming down on Dell City. False start. That's our Nico Daniels again.
Just getting a little bit lazy. Like I said before, Dell City cannot have this in this time of the game. Have to stay disciplined. Offensive line has to stay disciplined. Do everything that you can to put your team in the best position.
Yeah, just barely moved the football. Backs him up to the 41. Dell City needs to get it to the 46-yard line of Pryor. Let's see if Pryor goes with the same look defensively. They do not. This time running 2 high safeties. Going to be a fake shuffle pass by Overton. Overton does a good job staying on his feet, maneuvering. A little bit too much dancing, though, and not enough getting upfield.
Right.
Felt like there was a couple more yards there to gain. Instead, tried to make a little too much happen on one play, but he does get it back to the initial line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10.
There's nothing going cold. Like you said, just a little bit too much dancing to try to get back to that line of scrimmage. And as he was doing that, defensive line was able to kind of make their way into the backfield, stopping him for a loss.
Got a text from Blake Unruh, our student producer from Dell City.
Blake?
He's on vacation tonight. Hope you're enjoying yourself with your family. Great family. We enjoy having Blake here in the booth with us. We miss him tonight. We'll look forward to seeing him in the playoffs.
No doubt.
They say it's 2nd down and 10 for the Eagles. So over the middle, this is Rickland Holmes, another flag down in the backfield. It's a 1st down if it holds. I don't think it will. It's a hold.
Maybe these referees are going to give these guys, an opportunity to kind of actually execute a play this drive.
Boy, I didn't see a hold.
It's very quick, but I don't know calls on these. It's just sort of questionable. You can call a holding penalty on every call if you really wanted to.
Kind of looked at the Pryor broadcast booth, and they shrugged their shoulders at me too, so I don't know that they know what the call was. So it's 2nd and 20 again for the Eagles. They'll have to do it again. Overton back to pass. Dell City does a great job picking up the blitz. Plenty of time. Throws it deep. Walter Franklin's open. Overthrown. Boy.
Just unable to get there. Unfortunately, not able to get underneath the ball like he wanted to. Sincere put a good amount of air on that ball. I mean, it was a good pass, to say the least. Just not able to get underneath.
I went back and just watched the replay of that hold. I mean, I saw absolutely nothing.
Really? I believe it.
This is rare for Gordy Jones and I to say stuff like this, and I'm not trying to be crucial. I mean, these are 2 fast teams. You're going to miss calls. We're human beings, but my goodness, it just seems like Dell City has gotten the bad end of the stick here.
Exactly, I agree.
3rd and long. Dell City's going to take their last time out. 7 minutes and 34 seconds left to go. You have to have it. You got 2 plays to pick this up. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd down and a long way to go. Dell City has it at their own 36-yard line. They need it all the way to the Pryor 44. Overton with quads to the near side, one man to the top. Now he does have man-to-man on the top, though it's very far off coverage. Pressure coming to Overton. Overton avoids it, but he takes the sack. It's going to be 4th down and a really long way to go, and the problem now for Dell City, Gordy, is you kind of have to go for this because you don't have any timeouts. That doesn't look like that's what Dell City's going to do, but, I mean.
They try to hold up as long as they can, trying to do as much as they could to try to protect the quarterback. Just nothing really going with those quad set on that left side. Just not a receiver that was open. So when you're in a position like that, you got to get the ball out as quickly as possible, but just know where to go for Sincere Overton. So unfortunately, he had to take that sack. But like you said, Colt, this is in a position right now where they are right now. They're going to have to go for it.
And now you're taking just a million seconds to get out there to kick this ball away. There's really, with no timeouts, it would be a miracle at this point. And it's a decent punt. You have to down it still, Dell City. You still got to down it, gentlemen.
It's still a lot of time in this game. Dell City got to get it has to get their head up. This game is far from over. Dell City's going to have to do what they can to come out, on this drive and execute and try to get the ball out of the Pryor Tigers' hands.
Pryor can run a little over almost 3 minutes off this clock right here. They can run a lot of time.
Definitely.
So Dell City has to have a 3 and out, 1 first down, and this game is not completely over, but pretty close.
Pretty close. And now the Pryor Tigers have the momentum. Can Dell City dig deep and do what they have to do to stop this, guys?
Now, I would be shocked if they put this ball in the air. Dell City has to sell out to the run. They do. And they stop it. Good tackle. An Eagle is a little bit shaken up. It's Nicholas Holmes, but he's going to pop up and be okay. Rickland Holmes on the tackle. Both Holmeses there. Clock running, and there's nothing Dell City can do about it. 30 seconds on the play clock, 6:20 left to go in the game. Dell City trails by 9 with no timeouts. Gordy, it's like, again, if you kick the extra, I'm not questioning it. I would have probably gone for 2 as well.
Yeah.
But it does make you rethink. Like, if you would have just kicked the extra point that last possession, this game's still very much alive.
Exactly.
Only down 1 possession, and now you're just trying to get a stop, get the ball back, and see what happens. But now it would take a miracle, it seems like, for Dell City to find a way. Another handoff up the middle. That's going to be enough for a first down. That might put it away. That'll go down to the 46-yard line. Almost untouched until he got past the first down sticks.
Right.
Clock will stop momentarily at 5:50, and now it's back up and running. 30 seconds on the play clock.
Deciding to go along again. The Tigers with the misdirection play, throwing the defensive line of Dell City off just enough to, be able to pursue that first down on that one. And like you said, hopefully this is not the end, but this will be very difficult for Dell City to stop them and have enough time on the clock to do what they have to do to get back in this ball game.
Braden Ward out of the shotgun, takes the snap, takes off running. That looked like a hold, no call. Dives forward. I think he got another first down. Moves the sticks again. Looked like Draquan Wright might have been held in the backfield. No call.
That's it, call. This is a play that you can call almost every play. I might see a holding penalty over here, I might see one over there. But, yeah, the Pryor Tigers have definitely had more holding penalties than they've actually called tonight. And, unfortunate for Dell City, they're not on the right side of those calls. But, yeah, it's one of those things. It's just unfortunate, but it happens. It's just part of football. Dell City's is really going to have to do what they can, especially, going into the next game to try to clean a lot of this stuff up and, be prepared for the next opponent. But let's see what they can do the rest of this week.
Braden Ward with trips to the far side, hands it off up the middle. This time Dell City's line does a better job, but they're not finishing the play. Second effort picks up about a gain of 5. Wow. That was stuffed for a yard. Wound up picking up an additional 4. Just more physical at this point.
Right. It's all about who wants it more.
Someone asked me on YouTube earlier. I'll try to find out who it was. Someone asked me earlier, how far do I think Pryor will go in the playoffs? Well, offensively, their offense can take them a long ways. They might be able to go win a state championship. Defensively, I think they're still a little suspect. They're not very big defensively. I think at some point that will catch up to them.
Right.
Dell City didn't play well tonight, but give credit to Pryor. This is a big-time football team. Handoff up the middle, another first down to the 15, down to the 10-yard line, and that'll seal the deal. With 3:52 left to go, Dell City has no timeouts. At this point, if you're Pryor, you can almost start to kneel this one out. This Pryor team has a lot of seniors. I mean, they're an experienced football team.
No doubt.
This is maybe one of the better teams they've had in history. I don't know their history super well, forgive me, but it's one of the best teams, at least since I've been covering high school football in the last 7 years. Definitely their best team.
Yeah. I mean, just a great football team, of course. I mean, we've bragged on these guys throughout the game and the different talents that they've had, and we knew what they had before the game even started. Pryor's just having a lot of confidence, and they're playing on their home field, so Dell City's going to learn a lesson here.
And Braden Ward puts it in the end zone for a Tiger touchdown. 50 points on the Dell City Eagles. Boy, not too many people can say they've done that the last few years, but the Pryor Tigers can after tonight. They're an extra point away from making it 51-35 with 3:14 left to go in the ball game. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago Dell City was going for 2 to try to tie the football game, and from there, it just got away from them.
Right. Like you said, those are questionable calls when made within the moment. It's the thing that the coaches, once they watch this game film and kind of see some of the mistakes that were made throughout the game by the defense and by the offense, they're going to want a lot of those back, and those possessions are super important playing against a team of such talent.
Extra point is good. We'll keep it here to close this one out. 51-35 the score now. And listen, I understand we are frustrated in here in the booth. We've been critical of the officiating tonight. You at home have been critical of the officiating tonight. The Dell City coaches have been critical of the officiating tonight. But the officiating didn't lose this football game for Dell City.
Right.
The thing that lost this football game for Dell City was the fact that they were not able to get stops defensively.
Yeah.
And it's that simple. And then after that, on top of that, offensively, you stopped yourself with a lot of penalties. And some of these penalties were warranted. You had one for sure that was an eligible receiver downfield that negated a touchdown from Caleb Blackwolf. It was the right call. But, there's just been some calls tonight that didn't go Dell City's way. That happens in football. That happens in sports. And you have to bounce back from it. The good news is winning a district championship is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Don't want to underscore it.
No.
But let's be real. Dell City won a district championship the last 2 years and did not walk away with a state championship.
It happens.
Doesn't mean you can't win one. You're going to be a 2 seed instead of a 1. It might even be a little bit more favorable depending on who you want to play in the second round. I believe you'll be looking at Bishop McGinnis or Lawton MacArthur, depending on what's going on there. And this will be a touchback. But I don't know. I know a lot of people have said they didn't want to play Guthrie in the second round. That would have been who you faced had you won tonight. So Pryor will have a fun matchup against Guthrie, most likely in the second round. I think I have this right. If I'm not, someone can correct me, but I believe that's the case. And Dell City last year played Bishop McGinnis in the second round, and we know how that went.
Right.
So if that's who they decide to play, we'll see how it goes.
And the playoffs is just a whole new ball game. You have some people getting home field advantage, and, sometimes that works to their advantage, no pun intended. But then, like I said, sometimes you just get a whole totally different ball game when you play, in the playoffs. A team comes with a different mindset, and they kind of come a little bit more prepared. And it just happens. You're playing this team of Pryor, they're on their home field. They have the utmost confidence. And like I said, these kids are hungry. They're playing like they want it. And that's the thing that you want. They're playing on all cylinders. You have a good offense. You have a good defense. And you have a great coaching staff to support them and lead them. And like I said, Pryor, very impressed by the play calls, very impressed by, the structure that they've had throughout this game and the consistency. And Dell City's going to have to come with that. When you play against a team that's so well-oiled and so well-developed, you can't make mistakes. You can't have these penalties. You got to take advantage of all the opportunities, and that's just what it is.
Simmons in at quarterback. He's got quads to the near side. Blackwolf had to leave the game after that play. Was a little shaken up. Appears to be okay. Simmons has time to pass. Now he's feeling pressure. Looking. Escapes the pocket. Throws deep down the sideline. Just throws it away. As he was feeling pressure with 2:19 left. It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Eagles. Blackwolf will come back into the ball game, so appears that he's okay. That's the last thing Dell City needs going into the playoff is to lose their best weapon, and Ricklin. Again, going to go quads to the near side. If Dell City scores quickly and goes for 2, I guess they could still get an onside kick. and see what happens. As this snap goes behind Simmons, that's not going to help you. Simmons looking now, and now again just has to throw this ball up in the air. And unbelievable. Was that caught? Are you kidding me? Josiah Chester with an unbelievable catch and taps his toe in bounds at the 46-yard line. Gets out of bounds, and that's crucial because it stops the clock at 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go.
Great concentration and great catch by Josiah Chester. And even get throw, by the quarterback to kind of get it close to that sideline to give him the advantage over the defensive back.
Simmons out of the shotgun again. Going to have quads to the near side. Chester's all the way on the far side of your screen again. I would imagine this ball probably goes to Chester. It will. Chester going deep. He's being grabbed all the way down the field, and it's incomplete. He must not have been being grabbed because Dell City's coaches weren't arguing, and they're right there in front of it. Looked up here. It looked like he was being grabbed. Wouldn't have mattered. That ball was pretty far overthrown. Yeah. 2nd and 10. 2:02 to go. Well, if you're Dell City, it would take a miracle. But if you're able to score and go for 2, you at least get an opportunity to an onside kick. You'd like to at least do that.
Yeah. But you got to get your quarterback just enough time to get this ball out.
And going to get a flag. Offsides on Pryor. That's a free 5 yards. Lined up in the neutral zone. Pryor's like, what? It's funny, Gordy, the Pryor coaches, I think, are almost more upset with the officials tonight than Dell City's coaches are. And we're up here in the booth.
Frustrating. I can imagine.
I don't know that I've ever seen that. Yeah. Lining up in the neutral zone, you just throw the flag out of nowhere. We've seen it 3 times tonight, I think. I've seen it, don't get me wrong, but you don't see it very often.
Exactly.
In high school football. Rickland Holmes in motion from left to right. Simmons claps his hands, takes the snap. 4-man rush, has time, throws it. Nicholas Holmes makes the catch and gets to the 40. Sneaks past to the 36-yard line. Good second effort. Moves the sticks. Still alive. 1:53 left to go, and a fresh set of downs stops the clock momentarily. Dell City needs to get on the ball. Clock running. 1:50. Dell City's taking way too long. They've got to go. What are we doing? This is taking way too long. You've got to get that call in. You already got to have it. You already got to know what you're going to call, Gordy, before the play even goes.
I thought this when they decided to go along with the no huddle that they already kind of had that planned out. Just like you say, too much time taken on this one.
1:27 to go. Simmons the snap, back to pass. Has plenty of time. Looking. Throws over the middle. It's through the hands of Nicholas Holmes. He was open, and had he caught it, he was going to go straight to the sidelines and get out of bounds. Pryor wants a hold. Did not get it. I was looking for a flag and didn't see it either.
Guess Nicholas Holmes just couldn't get a good eye on that one. Couldn't bring that one in. That probably was one of the easiest passes of the day for him. But sometimes when you're at the end of the game like this, you just don't have your head completely in it. And, maybe these guys have kind of decided to go ahead and take it to the house at this point.
2nd and 10. Dell City mixing up their formation a little bit. Now they have plenty of time to get set, and we're going to get a whistle blown. They thought Pryor called timeout. They did not. Reset the play clock to 25. There you go. Simmons takes the snap. Going to get rushed immediately. Has to step into the pocket. Just flips it forward to Rickland Holmes. Falls incomplete. Holmes was open. It just looked like Simmons rushed it a little bit. He was feeling quick pressure from the pass rush.
Right. Only one pass rusher, so just confused that he was so quick to get rid of it that way.
Dell City's had a lot of drop passes tonight, too. That's something we haven't talked about.
Something that's a little bit out of character for these guys. They have a talented amount of receivers, and we talk about it all the time. But like you said, just the drops today, just kind of a little bit out of character. But this is one of the things, once they watch this game film, I think they'll see a lot of things that they can correct going into the playoffs.
Simmons has Holmes in the backfield with him. That's just to give him a little bit more time to help block. Throws a long pass to Nicholas Holmes. He makes the catch, gets the first down. Did he fumble? They're going to say he was down.
Definitely.
Boy, that was really close, Gordy. I'll tell you what, I don't know if he was down. Dell City gets the benefit of the doubt, but the clock is still running. They didn't give him the first down. They're going to say that They marked him short. Boy, I thought he had the first down. That's another mistake, though. Nicholas has to go out of bounds. As soon as you catch that pass, you got to go out.
Right.
4th and 2, now you just have to get the first down. 52 seconds left and running. Dell City's taking an eternity. They're subbing players out and everything else. What in the world? And now we're going to get a whistle and a sideline warning on Pryor. That just stopped the clock at 40 seconds. I mean, that's a break for Dell City there.
Crowd's fired up.
Play call's just got to be quicker.
Right.
It is what it is. This happened against Carl Albert the last couple of years in the playoffs as well. Throws over the middle. It's a first down. Black Wolf with a sure-handed catch takes a big hit to the 22. Now you got to get on the ball and you got to snap it.
Just kind of confused about the management of the clock this last few possessions.
29 seconds and running. 28, 27, 26, 25. Well, this game's over now. The clock is ran. You've ran off literally a full minute just trying to get lined up, trying to get a play call in. Simmons looking. Throws to the end zone, and it is going to be incomplete with 9 seconds left. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered most likely, Gordy, because, you're down 16. You would have had a lot to do.
Yeah.
But this is something Dell City they've got to fix. When you go to the playoffs and you're on your 2-minute drill,
yeah.
If you're going to use your timeouts early in the third quarter,
right,
you have to be able to get your play calls in.
Right.
If you can't, you save your timeouts.
I just don't really get it, Cole. That's, like you said, what was the whole point of going through some of these possessions?
Simmons couldn't get the snap off. It's going to be a false start on Dell City. Back him up 5 yards. So next week is the playoffs. We will be with the team. It'll be a home game. Even if at the 2 seed, you'll still have a home game for Dell City. And, it'll be a good matchup. Then you will have to go on the road in the second week of the playoffs. That's the biggest difference in this game is having to go on the road. But most likely you'll have to go on the road. You get reseeded, of course, if some upset happens, which I don't foresee. Mm-hmm. Second and 15 for Simmons. 6 seconds left. This might be the last play of the game. Simmons juggles the snap, throws over the middle. It's incomplete. 2 seconds left in the game. Black Wolf was not able to make the catch. Dell City's ready to go ahead and shake hands, but there's still a second left on the clock.
You're right.
You might as well just go ahead and
down it.
I would, if you're Dell City here, you gain nothing by scoring, really.
Right.
I almost would just take the knee. I know that's crazy, but it's not crazy. But I would just take the knee.
They just wasted so much time, the last couple of minutes they've wasted. So I understand what they might be trying to do as far as, just trying to make this a little bit closer of a gap. But
just throws it up in the air. It's intercepted. No, they'll call it incomplete. Not that it mattered. Incomplete pass, that's the ball game. Congratulations to the Pryor Tigers. An unbelievable season, 10-0. District champions. They've ended the streak for Dell City of 21 straight district wins, and the Tigers have dethroned the Eagles. This is a good football team here, good people here in Pryor. They've earned it. They deserved it. They outplayed the Eagles tonight. It's as simple as that. The Dell City Eagles just didn't play their best game, and I can assure you Coach Jones and his staff will go right into the film room and get to work and be ready for the playoffs. Up here in the booth, sometimes we're critical, but we're armchair quarterbacks. Right? It's when you're actually down there coaching with a headset, it's tough.
It's tough.
And but I think for Dell City, at the end of that game, that's something that they got to learn from. You got to get your play calls in quicker.
Right.
And you've got to do that going into the playoffs when you start hitting these closer games. The other thing for Dell City is you got to stop with the penalties. The penalties cost you tonight more than anything. Mm-hmm. And defensively, you've got to shore up your defensive line, which that I feel confident will be adjusted.
I agree.
So, folks, there's not really much more for us to say tonight. It's been a heck of a regular season. We have really enjoyed bringing these games to you, and we're not ready for it to end, and it's not over yet. We get to go back into the playoffs. Another trip. Seems like every year since I've been here. In fact, every year I have been with Dell City since 2019. We've been in the playoffs. It's been my pleasure to be with you, and I appreciate you tuning in. Folks, 51-35, our final. The Pryor Tigers have dethroned the Eagles of the district championship, and it's congratulations to them. Gordy, any last thoughts from you?
No, man, I think you hit it right on the head, Colt. I think the Dell City Eagles, they've seen the mistakes that they made, and I think the coaching staff, once they kind of get in the film room and kind of seen the corrections that need to be made as far as the penalties, as far as, the offensive possessions and being able to capitalize on some of these things, I think they'll see enough to know that, they're still in it. They're still in it to win it, and they still have a really great football team. Like I said before, characters are created during the playoff run, and this is when you have to kind of go into these playoffs with a totally different mentality. But like you say, there's no room for error when it comes to some of these teams, and that's what Dell City's really going to have to do. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and rediscover who they are. And like I said, you have to be a disciplined team. You have to be on the same page, and this as far as coaching staff all the way up into the water boy. Everybody has to be on the same page if they're going to win the championship, especially if you're going to get past the harder moments in the playoffs.
Absolutely. No, you're spot on. Well, folks, that's all we got for you. Again, thank you to everybody who's chatted with us on the YouTube chat. We appreciate it as always. I know there's a lot of family members from Caleb Black Wolf, Walter Franklin, a couple others. We appreciate it. Blake Unruh at home, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I'm Colton Fleetwood alongside Gordy Jones, cameraman Cedric Brosi, and our producer, Jacoby Brosi, doing a great job tonight. We'll see you next week for the playoffs right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.